Now I've seen players, too many to name. Some gain recognition and even fame. Some go slow and some may go fast. But me and my partners, we dip when we dash. And we flipping the cash, zipping the bag. Trippy slip when he crash. All good, never bad. All you never had. Dreams do come true for me and you. So let it do what it do. But boy, let me say, it's the ride of your life. And if you're rolling with me, I tell you I do you right. So put your seatbelt on and let your hair hang low. And if you with what we with, then I suggest you let it go. People to people, party to place. Having the time of your life is all in your face. Hands in the sky while snatching, catching the vibe. We go uptown, downtown, that's how we ride. Yo, strip mall is where we be at. It's the top dog, the top off while driving the track. Bass, boom, let it go. Bass, 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 bass, boom, let it go. Ride, rollin', tippin', advancing, turn it, burn it, taking a chance. We can bounce and ball. Just tell me how you play. I never give up. I do this thing like every day, and I break it down in every way. Oh man, I got carried away. But anyway, I'ma say I feel good every day, every way. La da da, I make the beat go ba da ba. Pop the heat, stop the beat. Listen, attention for this. Bang bang, same range, change lane, brain game. Get your flick it up, rip it up, slip, nip it up. Can't get with us, no matter what. It's better up, is that enough? That's what they ask. Come out the grass, so put your people to people, party to place. Having the time of your life is all in your face. Hands in the sky while snatching, catching the vibe. We go uptown, downtown, that's how we ride. Strip mall is where we be at. It's the top dog, the top off while driving the track. Bass, boom, let it go. Bass, 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 bass, boom, let it go.
Lay, sir, yeah.
Kane is in the building, nigga.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when it come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when it come up. The show goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. If I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk. Unaffected by they threats. Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes I am, yes I am, yes I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. I believe every lie that I ever told. Paid for every heart that I ever stole. I played my cards and I didn't fold. Well, it ain't that hard when you got sold. Somewhere I heard that life is a test. I've been through the worst, but I still get my best. God made my mold different from the rest. Then he broke that mold, so I know I'm blessed.
I'll be the teacher, you could be the lesson. I'll be the preacher, you be the confession. I'll be the quick relief to all you stressing. It's a thin line between love and hate. Is you really real or is you really fake?
Ready? Ready? It's coming. It's coming.
No surrender.
Here you go. Go.
From My News 26 and the Rambler Sports Network, it's high school football. Coming to you today from Boyne City's Earl Brotherston's Field. This 26 Sports and RSN High School Football presentation is brought to you by Wolverine Power Cooperative and Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
This is it. Last play of the game. Pitch back to Macy.
He's going to get it! They win the game! They win the game! They win the game! They win the game! Maceo! Merriman!
Boyne City Ramblers stay undefeated in the conference. Maceo Roman winning the game.
How about that? First time ever in school history, the Ramblers have defeated
Still got music on.
St. Francis.
Lots of music.
3 years in a row, and look who it was, Maceo Roman.
Want to go for the Welcome everyone to the Rambler Sports Network. We want to welcome everyone that's watching all across northern Michigan, probably the biggest game happening currently right now. We have multiple broadcast crews out here tonight, also the RSN broadcast crew on set. That clip you just saw there was the very last time that the St. Francis Gladiators lost a regular season game 30 games ago. That happened right here on Earl Brotherston Field, and that call coming from Dominic Santina himself, a line that we call over and over here on RSN, and you can hear it still, Maceo, Maceo, Maceo.
Oh, yeah.
And talking to Maceo a little bit after that game, he said he actually made that call. He said, Coach, I can get this 2-point conversion, and it was a risky call because that 2-point either could have lost the game for us or, in that case, win it in overtime. Again, that was the last time Traverse City had lost a regular season game. We hope to repeat that this year, don't we, guys? So both teams coming in 8-0. This game determines the conference championship and more. So we have bragging rights. We have we want to break for sure that 30-game win streak for Traverse City right here again tonight.
Well, if you find your way around northern Michigan, you talk to folks like I did today. I made my way around Charlevoix, East Jordan, and in Boyne City. Everybody in all three of those towns is talking about this. Of course, I go to Charlevoix, I talk to those folks who are talking about homecoming tonight against Mansalona. I go to East Jordan, they're talking about this is their playoff game because they're playing the Snowbirds of Gaylord St. Mary's. But it ultimately comes back to this game. So everybody around knows this is the game. And I don't think it's overhyped to call it a big game or the game.
And you can tell by 9 and 4 is here, TV 7 and 4 is here. You got WJML from Traverse City, they're here, and even the refs are mic'd up tonight. That's how big of a game we have tonight. So
I didn't know that.
RSN's on set, as always. We're bringing you live coverage right here. We have a halftime hot seat by F.O. Barden and Son. Paul Barden will be on set tonight, so stick around for that. And at the conclusion of our game, we have our Crucial Catch Pink Awareness, so all the parents and everyone sponsoring a pink jersey will be on the field tonight. You'll be able to see all that action after the game. But during the game, we have tons to talk about, guys. You know, the ESPN broadcast is also going to be a part of our broadcast tonight. So ESPN Radio, they put on a Friday night show. It's currently on right now. So if you tune in to their station, they are on right now currently talking about Northern Michigan football. And I'm sure we're one of those games they're discussing. In the second quarter, tune in because we are going to be talking with them. They're calling in, and we're going to be co-hosting with them. And then in the fourth quarter, they're going to send our broadcast over the airways to all of Northern Michigan that's listening. So check that out. We are especially happy for that right now. Also, lots to talk about in the Boyne City sporting world. I mean, really, talk about the JV game a little bit last night. Chuck, you were there. You got your boy here on the sideline. You guys are still reeling in the victorious feeling from last night. How'd that go down last night?
Well, they're all smiles, and they should be, man. These guys played a tough football game, and it was an 8-2 game in the first half at the halftime. In the second half, quite frankly, what happened is our guys out-physicaled their guys. They packed the box with 10 guys. We had to split out. Usually Jacob Steinhoff, he'd go out wide. They'd have one guy on him, and they'd pack the box on us. Pete Calcaterra did a nice job on a couple of completions to loosen that up a little bit. So they had to go cover 2 over the top so to make sure that we couldn't get deep on them. But these guys just out-physicaled them. The defense, the Rambler JV defense, was unbelievable last night.
Allowing only 2 points the whole game. Yeah.
I told these guys, I took them out to eat afterwards, but I told these guys.
They deserved a good meal.
Yeah, they did. The steak and shrimp. But I told these guys, you scored all the points last night. They kind of looked at me a little bit and then laughed a little bit. But no, they did a great job. Especially, I mean, the offense did a great job, but the defense was phenomenal. Special teams were good. Pete Calcaterra had a punt return for a touchdown. Great blocking, great setup, and it's fun to watch these young guys when it all clicks. And last night, it all clicked.
And it had to. It all came together for the JV team, ending a perfect season for Coach Wilmot, 9-0. And what do we have to look forward to next year? Half that team's coming up to the varsity level. So if you think Rambler football is coming to an end this year, folks, we got another 4 years of great football, because I'll add the 8th grade program. They went undefeated this year as well. So we've got years and years and years of great football. And because of that, Coach Hill's being acknowledged this week by the Detroit Lions in their website, and they put out a program where they look for Northern Michigan or any part of Michigan, a coaching staff from any high school football that's involved in the MHSAA program, and Coach Hill's was the recipient this week. A benefit to that, our program will receive another $2,000 because of that. And
well, not only that, but the non-financial benefit from that is being recognized throughout the state. So everybody in the state of Michigan knows that this program has something positive going on, which is what you want. As a coach, you want to be recognized not for the financial contribution. That's great because every program's underfunded. You can always use more money and all those kind of things. But to be recognized as one of the programs in the state, that's phenomenal. That's wonderful.
And because of that, like Chuck said, we're getting a lot of recognition, and partly because of what Coach Hills has done over the last couple years. And Chuck, you and I have been in a lot of meetings with Coach Hills through the Pop Warner years, and I was always so proud when he would say that one line that your kids, talking to parents, your kids are in the best equipment possible.
Yes.
And he says that year after year after year. That's because it doesn't stop one year to the next. He continues to go out and put these kids in the best helmets, in the best padding, in the best uniforms that they could possibly be in to be well prepared for safety. That's Coach Hill's #1 priority, is keeping these kids safe, keeping these kids playing from year to year.
Well, keeping kids safe and playing keeps them around, keeps a good program, right? So he wrote a grant to Rydell. He got that grant, one of, I think, 4 programs in the nation to receive that grant. Ironically, I think RSN was part of that because of the promotional aspect of Rydell. So we won that grant, and these kids are in phenomenal equipment that keeps them safe, which is, as a parent, as you know, as a dad of a player out there, that's a big deal.
So we're taking a look right here at Coach Hills receiving that football from the Detroit Lions Association and staff right there. So that's Jody Fritchie awarding that to him, as she's part of the Farm Bureau presenting sponsors for that program.
Yeah,
so
she's
congratulations,
our
Coach
local
Hills.
agent here in town.
Yeah, local agent.
Former teacher here, right?
Former Spanish teacher.
Right. Great gal.
And here come the Ramblers, our beloved Ramblers, here taking the field, getting ready to face off against the dominant St. Francis team. We know every year, as Coach Sellers said in the paper last week, this has been a 2-horse race for the last few years, and here they are at the end of the season, the 2 horses.
Was that Coach Josh Sellers or Larry Sellers?
Yeah, Josh Sellers.
Well, they were both there last night at the JV game. You know, former Coach Larry Sellers and Coach Josh Sellers.
Watching the future of that program thrive. And Coach Sellers tonight, I had a chance to talk with him, said that his team actually this year is actually a young team. So he's got many good years, looking forward to bringing some of those kids back. We're going to take a look and listen as Ethan Hills is running down to his team to grab them. Check this out. And there they are, the entire Boyne City Rambler football team coming out in their pink jerseys tonight. Tonight is our crucial catch game, the pink socks, and you'll see all the names on the back of those jerseys sponsoring a victim of cancer, or in some cases a survivor. We're 2 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to take a listen here to the national anthem, but once again, I want to recap some of the highlights going on tonight. We're going to be on ESPN Radio, Northern Michigan Football Radio. We're going to be talking a lot about what RSN has brought to our programs throughout the year and a lot of the sporting events that we've been a part of. We're going to talk about the pink game ceremony at the end of the game. We've got a halftime hot seat. Paul Barden coming in tonight as well.
That'll be a good one.
That's going to be a good one, and we've got some great questions for him. We also have the WB Builders halftime hot seat. Oh, I just mentioned that, and the Up North Imageware trivia question. So we'll be telling you that trivia question at the end of that first quarter.
Here comes your national anthem.
And gentlemen, I sure hope we hear that cannon a lot more tonight than just signaling the start of this game. We'd like to welcome all of our Ramblers fans and all those watching football across northern Michigan. Thank you for being a part of the Rambler Sports Network and My News 26. My name is Roger Coates alongside Jake Keltz tonight and Chuck Vondra. And guys, we also wanted to talk about some keys to victory tonight. How do you see it? Keys to victory. I think I see it this way.
Well, I know you're talking to Jake or me. I'll tell you, I'm ready for this. I didn't know you were going to ask that question, but I'm ready. I think defensively, if you watch the Gladiator football team, what you'll see is they get off the line of scrimmage in a hurry and they attack. Depending on who you talk to, some would say right on time, some would say about a half a second before on time, depending on who you talk to and if you watch film. What that means is, though, they're very well coached. They know the snap count. They're in sync. And if you can penetrate that line and they don't get deep on you, you get on them before they get on you, that's the biggest deal tonight for me, for us defensively. Offensively, the opposite is true. We got to manhandle the other side of the line and get to their linebackers. They got a pretty good linebacker out there who's played, this is his 4th year of varsity football. Pretty good football player. I understand he got a walk-on out of Northwestern. That's my understanding on him.
From St. Francis.
Yes, correct.
Also want to highlight number 41. Talking to Coach Sellers, he said that player number 41 for St. Francis, that is Joey Molkajakovic. He is looking at Wayne State University to go off and play baseball after his senior year. So he's playing middle linebacker tonight. Check a look out at number 41. I'm predicting keys to victory for St. Francis is to stop that ferocious run attack from Boyne City. Putting 400 yards on the ground last week.
Oh, boy. There's the kick from Mason Gardner, goes right out of bounds.
And that's not how we want to start the game here in Boyne City.
Well, we're going to find out in a hurry.
But we want to also mention that our field goal kicker and extra point kicker, Jacob Dean, he is actually at a soccer game right now. And, Jake, I think you told me last the score was 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0 going into second overtime.
Going into the second overtime. And the soccer program, we talked about the sports programs that are happening. The soccer program also in their 3rd game of the playoffs. Their district champion game and district finals, looking for a win. And as soon as that game's over, Jacob Dean is hauling as fast as he can up to this game to try and kick an extra point for us.
Looks like it's going to be a run up the middle. I believe that was 41, Joey Molkajakovic with the carry.
Let's all agree on how to say that. Molkajakovic. Molkajakovic, number 41. We were just talking about him. He plays middle linebacker as well. He's the one that's looking at a baseball scholarship at Wayne State University. So here we go, second down for the Gladiators.
There's a snap. They're going to give it to number 12. That's Aaron Simon.
Now, one thing that the Ramblers are going to have to key on also, Jake, is the number of potential runners and keys to all the kids that touch the football on St. Francis side. They have about 7 players that will touch that football, and at any given time, any one of those players can take it to the touchdown. So we've got to be very alert where that ball is going to be placed, and we got to make sure we wrap up those tackles if we're going to bring them down.
3rd and 1 for the Glads. Looks like they're going to give it to number 41 again, Joey Malzjakovic.
Got a tweet coming in. Thank you for our first tweet tonight, Amy Faddick. Grandma and Grandpa Williams watching the game from Wakefield, Michigan. As always, they're watching number 88, Dylan Williams. And Grandma and Grandpa, they haven't tested Dylan Williams' side yet, as both plays have either come to the middle or to their left. Dylan playing opposite of the direction that the Glads have touched the ball so far, so we'll see Dylan Williams in action for sure tonight. 3 in the backfield for the Glads.
There's a snap. It's brought down by a host of Ramblers.
Yeah, Max Burke, number 71, first to wrap him up, and that's a big guy, Max Burke. Take a look at 71. Got a camera on Jacob Ager there, but see Max Burke wraps him up, and he's doing the best he can with Spencer Joels, and Jacob Ager coming in and takes 3 of our guys to bring him down.
Well, so far, the first 3 plays are exactly what we talked about. It's that push, that quick off the line, in between the tackles, come get you.
2nd and 7 for the Glads. He's going to get brought down again by a host of Ramblers.
Well, Joe Ball got to him first. Actually, it was a bunch in the line there, and Joe Ball came off the side and got to him, which is a good thing. We're crashing hard. That hard crash, though, can sometimes set you up for the outside, too.
Joe Ball had an excellent game last week. Started the first quarter with an enormous amount of intensity. Came in there and made about 5 tackles in that first quarter up there in Elk Rapids.
Defensively played a good game.
Yep.
Quick update on the soccer game. They actually, no one scored in the second overtime either, so they're going to be going to a shootout now. There's a snap.
What's a deep
It's going to be
drop?
a pass. It's going to be picked off by Jacob Ager. He gets around to the outside. He's still on his feet, and he gets brought down by number 41, Joey Malzjakovic.
And that's just disciplined football right there. Jacob Ager not biting, not coming in, not going too deep, stays in his area, and as a result, makes an excellent play.
Well, if you watch this guy takes a deep drop, what doesn't make me believe they had a lot of confidence in keeping our defensive guys off their quarterback. And I said it while the play was going on, man, that's a deep drop. And a deep drop is either a long pass or not a lot of confidence in that line, and which makes the ball in the air longer, which makes it more susceptible to the pick.
Which means, tells me that coaching staff has been watching film on us, because our defensive line does bring the pressure, and as a result, our turnover here, Ramblers taking it the other way. 42-yard line is where
Hewitt
they'll
goes
start.
in motion, and they're going to give it to Hewitt. Oh, it's going to be a pass.
Oh, boy.
Looking for Mason Gardner.
And
beautiful play. That's going to be a Rambler touchdown. First Rambler play of the game. That's a Rambler touchdown.
How about that first offensive play?
Hey.
I wasn't expecting anything tricky like that. Coach Hills, you're a genius.
Well, as soon as you do that, if you were at the game last night, you know, in our offense, that wing, we run outside, run outside, run outside. First play of the game, they look run outside. So they're told all week, don't contain, 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 contain. They contain.
They did.
And watch it.
Watch all 3 linebackers.
Watch this guy right here. See him? Contain, contain, contain. Uh-oh. Now I got to get back to that.
Great throw by Ethan Hewitt, too.
I actually thought it was a botched pitch from Ethan Hewitt.
I saw the one-handed catch, and I was like, oh, boy, and then.
But well designed. Coach Hills, genius first play from offense.
And they're going to go for
How's
2.
that for time of possession?
It's going to be a pass.
All right, let's look at
No
this
good
on
for the
the
two-point
replay
conversion.
if we can here.
Wyatt, can you turn count down a bit?
We're going to look at this if we can again. I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. Here we go.
Gonna take a look at this play again. Chuck Vonja drawing it up for you.
Tossed here. Watch that. He's going to toss. This corner out here, I can't see him, but he's going to bite in right there. There's that toss. And this guy should have been back there with that guy, which would have stopped that. Okay? That's an awful simplistic way to look at it. But these guys are taught, contain, contain, contain. Boyne City's fast. They're quick. They like to run outside. They try to steal the edge. Coach shows them that play, and then he goes past.
Let's try this. and it works.
Yeah.
It's great. And then Mason Gardner has been excellent all season on those catches, hauling that one in. Had to wait for that one a little bit, but hey, you got Ethan Hewitt, probably his first pass of the season, don't you think?
Yeah.
I believe so.
And you can't, it's hard to blame the corner from St. Francis, to be honest with you. They're taught that, they see that, they bite on that. First play.
Here's the kick from Gardner.
So the Ramblers score first.
Hits right about the 20. He's going to get pushed out of bounds by, I believe, 88 Dylan Williams.
Well, guys, that matches right there Traverse City's allowed points all year. 6 points is what they are averaging as a defensive unit all year long on average.
That's what they give up?
That's what they give up.
Wow.
We just matched that in our opening play.
That's impressive.
Boyne City allowing just 9 points a game on average, so we're off to a great start here in Rambler country.
Yes, 6 guys on the line here for us, which is a little bit different.
Got
There's a snap. They're going to give it to number 5. That's Teddy Pritchard.
Well, Joe Ball did a nice job. He did his job. We just need a little better pursuit out of that.
All right, we're going to go back to the play that actually made that offensive play happen. This is Jacob Ager's interception. Watch as Chuck was describing how far back.
There's the line of scrimmage.
The quarterback was backing up. You can see Caleb McFadden here.
The quarterback starts here.
Sorry, that is number 9, Dylan McCardle.
And he throws it from back here. That's a heck of a drop right there.
And we're back live here. St. Francis has the ball, and I believe there's a fumble on the play, but recovered by the Glads.
Well, I don't suppose you're going to see a whole lot of that deep pass stuff until they figure out what's going on and how to fix that. So I would be, if I'm the Ramblers, I'm content with packing the line of scrimmage, which they've done. We just talked about there are 6 guys on the line, right? And the short passing game.
And I love the discipline of Jacob Ager, just being able to stay in his zone, be able to stay right there, not be and bite on the same play that
4 guys down the line.
3rd and 5. 3rd and 4 for the Glads, excuse me.
Powerhouse 3 in the back.
There's a snap. It's going to be a handoff. And he's going to get brought down by 14 Hewitt. And Ager comes in later. There's a flag down.
I want to give a shout out to David Rushlow. Broadcast is great looking and sounding good. I think David is all the way from Texas, so thanks for tuning in, former alumni. And
is he fixing rockets or airplanes or something?
Fixing airplanes.
That's what I thought.
F-16.
Military stuff, yeah.
They're going to face mask on the Ramblers.
All the mechanical innards of those jets. And Marty.
Marty Moody. Selling popcorn.
We're going to have Paul Barden on set tonight, and I think he's got a few stories to tell about Paul and himself and Marty.
Oh, boy. Well, Paul was a Rambler alum football guy. Air Force guy, too, I believe.
Check that out later.
Military guy for sure.
Cardle, number 9, getting back under center there for the Glads. Look at this set in the backfield now. 3 different looks so far from the Gladiators.
There's a snap.
Here it comes right down at you.
Nice play from Ryan Houts to bring down number 3, Evan McGee.
That's the other linebacker from Boyne City. You hear a lot about number 2, about 51. Just as talented, making his read, cutting in there, and he beats his guy to the hole and brings down the play for a loss.
Well, they bring him to the line. They have him sneak up pre-snap to stack that line of scrimmage, but not before they make their blocking assignments or look at it. So it changes their assignments just a little bit. I wish I missed the, I could draw it up for you. I can see that again.
And I love the pursuit to the ball. Boyne City all coming to the ball as quickly as possible. It's now 2nd down and 11.
There's a snap.
There's a tight bunch there.
Brought down by number 21, Eric Carson, and I believe that's 16, Mason Gardner. It's going to be good enough for a first down.
Aaron Simon, as we mentioned, a number of key players from the Glads touching the ball, and that's Aaron Simon's first touch, goes for a first down.
We see that again. I'm going to show you how tight they were. I can't see. These guys are all real tight in here, which gives you a bigger gap from here out this way to get out there. Big old 62 leading the way.
Number 5 from the Glads on a great block there, too. And that's number 5, Teddy Pritchard.
They're going to give it to Moles Djokovic again.
But this is what both teams do well, and they do it so excellent, and that's just pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, and they try to tire the other defense out. And so this game, Jake, is going to go right down to that fourth quarter. Which team's going to get tired? Which team's going to have the freshest legs to keep this momentum? And Coach Sellers even quoted in the newspaper this week saying his team is really not a first quarter team. Second and third quarter, look out for the Glads.
That's going to be a false start on the Gladiators.
Well, they were coming quick.
And they don't make many mistakes. And there's one that cost them. And Chuck, that was my key to victory tonight for the Ramblers, is to make sure those mistakes are very minimal. We've had our number of turnovers. We've had our number of holding calls and offsides and false starts. And I think if we can minimize on those mistakes and do what we do best, and that's run the football, I think that's our key to victory tonight for offense.
It's going to be another flag.
That whistle came prior to
looks like another false start.
It has to be. Yeah, they stopped it, right? Well, we talked.
That's 2 in a row.
Us three, talked about that before the game. They like to be quick off the ball, and they're trying to be quick and making some mistakes. Hopefully, that's unforced errors by us, because typically you don't see that out of this Gladiator team.
Right, mistake-free team typically. 2 in a row puts them at 2nd down and 14. Our defense is well poised for the pass here, I'm sure. We got Mason playing safety. He's coming up a little bit on the line.
There's a snap, low snap. He's going to try to keep it and get brought down by 51, Ryan Houts.
Ryan's having a heck of a start to this game, and that one's dropped for another 1-yard loss.
There's 2 pink shirts standing. I'd like to see who the other one is real quick.
I believe it was Jacob Robinson.
Was it Robinson?
Low snap. That doesn't help the Glads get their rhythm. Yeah, Robinson and Houts. Gonna take one more look at this play here.
Well, there's us winning that up front battle right there.
Check this view out. This is coming from our sideline camera.
Well, it was a run all the way. See that guy stalk blocking? That guy, the tailback, was going to come out here around 40.
Timeout, Glads. And they're looking at a 3rd and 16 to go.
You can't blame the coach in the timeout. You got 3 mistakes in a row. You got to get things together. You know, you were down at the 25. Now you're back to the 37.
Well, I'd like to first start out by thanking My News 26, and their presenting sponsors, Great Lakes Energy tonight and Wolverine Power, making it possible for these games on TV again this year. So thank you to My News 26 and your partnership with RSN and your presenting sponsors, Great Lakes Energy and Wolverine Power. Also like to give a shout out to our local sponsors tonight, starting with Stiggs in Boyne City. Great Lakes Energy. Great Lakes Energy and their Wolverine Power. That's our presenting sponsors from My News 26.
Breaking news. Boyne City has a district championship soccer team on our hands.
No kidding. Good job.
They won 5-3 in the shootout. And that's the first time.
We didn't win a shootout.
I don't know if Boyne Soccer's ever won a district, so I think the last time they won a district game was 2011 or 2012.
Good for them.
So that's huge for Boyne City.
Where was that at tonight, Jake?
That was over and down and up and somewhere in Grayling. Wherever
Grayling's at, huh?
Down sideways.
It's going to be a carry. Rocket. And he gets pushed out of bounds by 14 Hewitt. That was number 21, George Mackey with the carry.
Yeah, take a look at number 5, Pritchard. He is blocked on Hewitt, maintaining that block the entire time. So keep an eye on
Mason Gardner did a good job at filling that gap, taking care of the cutback lane. Hewitt had the outside contained the whole time, and Gardner filled that cutback lane, which made that possible. So they got about, what, 3 or 4 out of that?
4th and 11 for the Glads, and they're going to go for it.
I think you have to here.
3 receivers out wide.
Pass.
Drops back for a pass. And he connects
Stopped
with
short.
number 15. That's Cole Julian, and I believe he's short.
I believe so. We're going to wait for the official call, but Mason's declining that.
And that's going to be a Rambler football.
And you can hear Tom Clemens on the PA at home. That is a Rambler first down.
That says a lot. They know that on 4th and 11 they got to throw the ball. They're not going to run it. Then they get stopped on that. Not by much, to be frank with you. Less than a yard, I'd guess. But stopped nonetheless.
But Mason in good position to make that play happen. And the Ramblers, again, take it over on downs. See what they can do on their second drive of tonight's game.
They're going to give it to Joe Baugh. He's going to get around to the outside. Nice run from Joe Baugh.
Nice block by Dylan Shulock.
About a 6-yard pickup there for Baugh.
He should pat Dylan Shulock on the back for that.
There's another guy that's fired up for tonight's game, and it's Captain Rowdy making his presence tonight in full force.
At the end of the quarter, you're going to see Captain Rowdy racing some kids. This will be the true test for Captain Rowdy to see just how strong and fast he is.
That'll be something.
Might scuff those.
Look at the line of scrimmage. Look how they got the line of scrimmage stacked.
They're going to give it to Dylan Shulock, who's going to get brought down right away by a host of Glads.
Well, that defensive end, number 40, was not biting, and he came in at full force.
Well, none of that Gladiator team was buying that.
Yeah, that's Tom Hegewald. Joey Bonebreak, shout out from the Joe Daddy's Casa in Traverse City. Thanks for tuning in, Joey. Always good to hear from a blast from the past, an old Rambler.
Hashtag Pua.
Hashtag Pua, his best buddy.
Pua Kapapa.
Thanks you guys for tuning in. Rambler football going all across northern Michigan and further beyond the state of Michigan.
3rd and 7 for the Ramblers. It's going to be a pass, and he gets brought down.
Well, he's coming hot off that left end.
I believe that was number 53. That's Ryan Lintz.
Yeah, Ethan looked downfield towards his left side. That's where Mason Gardner was. He didn't see what he liked and held that ball for an extra second, and I just don't think they're going to have that much time tonight. 4th down, it's going to be a 3-and-out for the Ramblers.
Well, that Lentz kid's a pretty good football player, if you can't tell. So we'll have to come up with a plan to account for 53 for the rest of the evening.
Gardner set to punt. You got number 12, Aaron Simon, and number 26, Artie Dutmers, back to receive the punt for the Glads. There's the punt. Nice punt from Gardner.
Gonna take a nice roll.
Oh, it's going to bobble it. Number 12, Simon's going to pick it up. He's going to be brought down by Kyler Price, I believe.
Got a minute 28 to go in this first quarter. Graphics tonight for the clock and all the scoreboard brought to you by Maddie G. So thanks, Maddie, for doing a wonderful job on our broadcast and on that board. 1:28 left in the game. I'm sorry, in the first quarter. Ramblers lead 6-0. Even our logo on the field is in pink tonight, guys.
McCardle set to get the snap. They're going to give it to number 5, Teddy Pritchard, who gets brought down quickly by, not sure who that was for the Ramblers.
Well, Ball and Dylan Williams are both there.
All right, we're going to take a look at Captain Rowdy here pretty soon as he's getting ready to get underway with the first quarter race. Can't wait to see this, Jake. I did not know this was happening, and
it should be something.
I always wanted to know how fast he was.
For 2 weeks now, I wanted to know.
Doesn't look fast. Just saying.
Huh.
McCardle gets a snap. They're going to pitch it to number 5 again. There's going to be a flag down.
They're going to have holding.
I believe
against Spencer Joels, which they didn't need to do it because they had him. He got pushed right off the ball. Then they grabbed him, and Spencer did a good job selling it. Put his arms in the air. We can show it here. Give me a pause here. Watch this point right there. Starts here, and he gets pushed here. Now he's going to raise that arm.
Yeah, that's a hold.
There it is.
And you're right, Chuck. 77. He did not have to do that.
He did, and that hold didn't need to happen.
Tyler Revitt getting the call on that for the Glads, and that backs him up a few yards. It's now going to be second and about 14 for the Gladiators.
That's that quick off the ball I told you guys about. They got to us before we got to them on that one for sure. We can't do that. And we had motion coming towards him too. Spencer should have seen that.
There's a snap. They're going to give it to. Oh, it's going to be a pass actually. Picked off again.
Oh,
Aaron Carson. He's got room.
He's going to score.
The 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Rambler!
Aaron Carson. 2 turnovers for the Ramblers. Those are the mistakes we're talking about. That's going to swing a game right there.
Hey, but to make that happen, if we can show that again, Big Dylan Williams was in this guy's face, and he had to get rid of the ball.
And number 7, number 9, that's McCardle. Could not see where he was throwing. Threw it up there anyway. This time it's Carson. And the speed of number 21 takes us all the way for
Watch
another
this
6
guy right
points.
here. Watch, here he comes right here.
In his face.
Bam, there he comes. That changes everything. 6'5", big hands in your face.
That's 3 passes for the Gladiators going unsuccessful. 2 of them going for picks. One of them a pick 6. I think Coach Seller is going to think twice about passing a few.
2 picks, 2 touchdowns.
Going for another 2-point conversion. Hills gets a snap. Going to be another pass.
And
he's saying no good, but
the Rambler sideline saying he's in.
I'd like to see that one again.
I shouldn't trust the Rambler sideline. Should be looking at
well, we'll have to look at
the guys in black and white.
We'll have to look at stripes to see what they say here. Maybe our trailer can show us that play again. It hit the ground when he crossed line of scrimmage. He came down and ball bopped out. That's the right call. Watch the ball pop out right now.
Okay. Yep. See it now. And good eye for the ref. He's waiting for that go all the way through the motion of that catch. And Chuck called it. Bobbled on the ground. No good. Score here now. The Ramblers lead 12-0 here. Still in the first quarter. We got about 25 seconds left. And now, guys, we now surpassed all the points that they are allowing on average, and that's the Gladiators allowing only 6 per game.
You know what that'll do for the Gladiators?
Get in their head.
We would like that, but they'll be disciplined. They'll come out and do their thing. That's certainly not enough points. These guys average probably, I don't know what they average, 30, 40 points a game?
I think it's about 36 points a game, Chuck.
There you go. 12's not going to do it.
Gardner set to kick.
So in sports, you talk about don't get too high, don't get too low, just play the game.
There's a kick from Gardner. That's number 5, Toddy Pritchard, still on his feet. Finally gets pushed out of bounds right around the 45-yard line.
These guys have got to finish these tackles.
Well, we got to get to them too. Because you're running down and filling your lanes because you got 3 guys there. Don't let up. Got to get to it.
Ramblers defense coming back on the field.
Well, it's been a stingy defense.
Guys, we didn't even talk about some of one of the biggest stories tonight, the weather. This Rambler football team.
You guys are dressed like it's winter.
Yeah, I was prepared for a little wind, but it's probably 68 degrees, near 70. Beautiful.
There's a snap.
Oh, nice job.
Brought down right away by Shulock. I believe that was number
27. You're right. Shulock on that tackle.
12. Aaron Simon with the carry.
That kid's quick. Aaron Simon's fast.
And the first quarter is going to expire before the next play can get off.
Well, that first quarter brought to you by F.O. Barden & Son. We'll have Paul Barden on set at the WB Builders halftime hot seat. But F.O. Barden & Son would like to thank you for your sponsorship. Barden Lumber is a proud sponsor of Boyne City Athletics, and they would like to thank all of their customers for the support through the years. It's through your support that this local business has been able to give back since 1922. Stop by their family-owned indoor lumber yard for all of your building and lumber needs. And we'll have Paul Barden, as mentioned, on set, and he's going to talk about the history of their lumber yard since 1922 and everything they've done in and around Boyne City's community. There's a take at Captain Rowdy just trying to blend in. I imagine there's some fans in the audience. Hey, way. Get out of my way. I can't see. Here we go. And Captain Rowdy is confused. He is not winning. The kids are dominating. Captain Rowdy way behind. And that answers the question. Is Captain Rowdy fast?
No.
No.
He's very strong, though.
He's very tall.
Very tall and very strong. Are they going all the way around?
I think the kids are planning to go all the way around. I think Captain Rowdy is done. Captain Rowdy saying, hey, kids, that's enough. I'm tired. I'm tall, but I'm not fast.
We're toe-to-toe with this offensive line here now.
I believe they gave that to number 3, Evan McGee.
And that push for number 3, McGee, goes for about 4 yards, maybe 5. Nothing fancy, just straight up the middle and a whole lot of power push.
They're just going to try to run you over.
That's one aspect of their run game. They also have the speed as well to boot. So keep an eye on that. You got another formation here.
There's a snap. Going to give to number 3, McGee again. And he's going to get brought down by Maxwell Burke. But not before. Oh! Ramblers are saying that they have it.
Do have a fumble. The ref's not making a call yet. It is
and it's Rambler football.
3 turnovers in the game so far. Take a look at this. It's hard to see. There's a huge pile in there.
Missed call. It's going to be a first down Glads.
And the stripes on the field, they're calling that back, and this one's going to go.
We're going to watch Jacob,
first and 10 for
Jacob
the
Ager
Gladiators.
right here. We'll get that to go forward again.
Here he gets in there. And they're winding the clock. This play is a non-discussion point as the Gladiators are first and 10. 43-yard line.
They're going to give it to 12. Aaron Simon gets brought down by a host of Ramblers, led by 14 Ethan Hewitt, I believe.
We're going to take a moment here and thank Up North Imagewear. They're also a sponsor this year. I'd like to thank John and Shelley Bush for doing that. And they've come up with another great Up North Imagewear trivia question. You guys ready for this one?
I'm ready.
If you're all out there listening, including Allie Hernandez, thank you, Allie, for tweeting in. Listen for this question here coming up right after this play. Your chance to win some apparel from Up North Imagewear.
There's a snap. Going to give it to 3, McGee. Gets brought down by another host of Ramblers, led by Jacob Ager, I believe.
Defensively, you watch what's happening. They're getting that surge, getting that surge, getting that surge. Our defensive staff runs a linebacker up to the line of scrimmage to stonewall that offensive line, and then we get a stop. So,
Allie, I agree with you. If you can't be here, the next best thing is watching it on RSN. And here's the RSN Up North Imagewear trivia question. Dave Hills, did you guys know this, is the most winningest coach in Rambler football history. Who did he surpass?
Number 12 is going to go for a run. He's going to get brought down by Joe Ball.
Well, I think that's...
You can't answer, Chuck.
I think I can. I think I can.
You got it, though.
I think I can.
That was number 12, Aaron Simon.
There's only one other guy with that longevity here.
So again, if you didn't hear it, you missed it. Dave Hills currently has 121 wins, the winningest coach in Boyne City football history. Congrats to you, Dave Hills.
Well, there could be 2.
Who did he pass?
There could be 2.
Chuck's narrowed it down to 2.
For longevity-wise, there could be 2.
What do you think out there, viewers? Tweet us.
One is deceased and one is alive.
Looks like the punt team's out.
At Team BCVI to get your answer in here, and you can win some apparel from Up North Imagewear. Chuck's giving you 2 clues there.
That's my opinion.
In his opinion.
Just in case I'm wrong.
That's good, reasonable thinking, though.
That's it.
I can tell you it's not Coach Noel, who coached for just a couple years. You can rule that out because just what you said, longevity alone.
Delay of game on the Glads. It's going to put him back to 4th and 12 for the punt.
All right, check this tweet out here. Watching my cousins compete for their conference championship using Team BCVI and Chromecast. Impressed with the broadcast and quality. Thank you so much, Teddy. Appreciate you tuning in.
I don't know Teddy, but thanks for watching.
Yeah, it must be a reference to the Gladiators.
Oh, good.
There's the punt. It's going to be
Go.
caught by
Go.
Ethan Hewitt.
Go.
Hold the ball, Ethan.
Perfect.
Hey, remember we got a sideline reporter. Her name is Grace Wells, and she's standing by. What do you have, Grace?
Hi, guys. I talked to Coach McShane before the game. He said that we have to come at this game and execute our game plan. They're going to throw a lot of tight formations at us and run the ball a lot. We just have to execute our plays and play fast physical defense. From an offensive standpoint, we have to take care of our assignments and play a hard 4 quarters of football. Back to you guys.
I think that's the same thing you said, Chuck.
Well,
I mean,
Grace is smart.
She's a smart girl. She's getting it right every time, and that's the key to success for the Ramblers. And so far, so good on that physical defense point of view.
Well, I think you talked about taking care of the football, which we have, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective,
Snap from
they
Hills.
have not.
Going to give it to 11, Kyler Price.
Well, he's ran well.
About a 10-yard run.
Last
Yeah.
month, he's ran well.
So well, you guys, he's creeped into the top 10 local rushers in our area. So you're talking 12 teams in our local area that Boyne City is one of them. Petoskey News Review putting this out. Of the top 10 players, we have 4 on that top 10 rushing list. Kyler Price just now making that list, creeping in the number 10 spot.
When we talk about him coming on in the last quarter of last year of the football season, it's showing again here.
Hills gets a snap. They're going to give it to Price again. Gets the first down and then some. Brought down right around the 40-yard line.
And that's what Kyler does bring, is power and footwork. You saw it there. He's finesse enough to cut and move, and then the power to finish like that. So you got a combination of Dylan Shulock and Joe Ball right there, all in one.
Yeah, last week in Elk Rapids, Kyler just blew up out of nowhere. It was just
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. I don't know how many.
150, 200 yards, somewhere in there.
Crazy. Yeah, 400 total for the yards on the ground.
I mean, Kyler probably had 150 to 200 himself.
He did.
I don't know what it was, but it had to be close to that.
And so Coach using number 11 once again in the backfield.
There's a snap from Hills. They're going to give it to 8 Wilcox, I believe. Nice run from Wilcox, about a gain of 6 yards.
Well, what I'm seeing now is the quick hit and get you quick. And last night in the JV game, we had this when David Shaler came in and started running the ball. We started hitting them quick, and we saw the same thing happening. So maybe that's their Achilles heel, the Gladiators, is to get on them in a hurry. Don't let them string you out.
2nd and 5 for the Ramblers.
Well, viewers, now you're seeing what you typically see from Boyne City Rambler football, and that's just power football up the middle. A couple jet runs.
There's a snap. Going to give it to Price.
Price again.
He's got some room. He's still on his feet, brought down right around the 43-yard line. Great run from Price.
Well, yeah, this is a little bit of their own medicine. We got that tight bunch going, just like we talked about them having. So you got that tight bunch.
As Teddy tweeted in, this broadcast beneficial to all fans tonight, and that's all of Northern Michigan. Rambler fans, Gladiator fans who couldn't make it up, they're tuning in. Here's another one listening from WTCM. Go Glads. And you're certainly welcome to do that on RSN. Just tweet in at Team BCVI and shout on whoever you'd like to give a shout out to on our broadcast.
Well, it's a big game. I had Brady Buell at my house before the game. He's last year's punter. He punts at CMU now. Gladiator,
really?
yes.
Really?
My daughter goes to CMU, and they knew each other prior to that, and so they came to the game. He offered to do an interview on RSN if you'd like.
Yeah, let's bring him on.
Brady did. Good kid, nice boy.
I imagine most of those guys are on the team there. And when you're coaching under a staff of such excellence, they expect excellence. So I imagine that's what those boys are all about. Same as Boyne City.
There's a snap.
Oh, my goodness.
They gave that to 11. Price, who's still on his feet.
Yeah, I love it.
Great run from Price.
Hey, the Gladiators talked about this, and they know we're going to run the ball. That's no secret. We got 4 excellent running backs. They know we're going to run, and they also know this.
We see that again.
Blocking is the key to those great runs. Take a look at these blocks. Chuck's going to draw it up for you.
Watch that big 71 right there.
Max
Trap.
Burke
That's just an inside trap, guys. The last 3 have been inside traps.
And there's nothing you can do. You can know about this run game. You can know who to go against, but when those blocks are coming at you from all points of view, it's hard to slow this run attack down. And here we go again.
You got to put some guys in line for that. Stop that.
Price once again.
And there's Coach
Sellers' answer. By a host of Glads.
Well, he tells the outside line or inside linebacker, tackle 11. I don't care what you do, tackle 11.
Now, I love what Coach Hills does here. Okay, finally they're bringing someone up the middle. He's going to spread him out again.
Yeah.
Congrats, Coach Hills. Trivia guess. Here he goes. Brenton Fitz is going to guess he surpassed Paul Failer for the most wins. Brenton Fitzpatrick, you are tonight's Up North Imagewear Trivia Question winner. That is correct. Paul Failer had 101 wins between the span of 1957 and 1972. Coach Hill surpassing him. Congratulations, Brenton Fitzpatrick.
Goes to Price, gets brought down by 13, Nathan Schmuckel.
I had to call Coach Bricker today during the school day and ask Coach Bricker a little bit about Paul Failer.
Yeah.
He said he took that Boyne City Rambler football team in 1961 to the state championship.
Yep.
And that was Boyne City's championship
He's
year.
a pretty revered guy here in Boyne City, in
Paul?
Boyne City history. Coach Failer. I don't call him Paul. I never met him. It's Coach
I
Failer.
never met him either.
Coach Failer.
That's why I had to call Coach Bricker and say,
That's
hey,
it.
tell me something about this guy.
Let's see what the Ramblers have here on 3rd and 10, or that's more like 3rd and 8, excuse me.
Well, it's 2 down territory.
It's going to be a pass.
That's batted away by the Glads. Rambler's not happy with that.
Well, big old 15 was right up in his face there. Cole Julian. That's a good defensive play by 15.
Well, you could hear the disapproval from the Rambler fans about something.
I believe they thought it was a late hit from the Glads. If we could get a replay
Well, look at the
on
side.
that.
I don't know how big he is, but look at Cole Julian out there, 15.
Yeah, that's a big
He's about 30 yards from us here. I think I chopped that guy. If we're going to do a 3-step drop, I chop him, make him get up to block that one. Well, I'd try to chop him. I don't know if I would.
Ramblers are going to go for it on 4th and 9. There's a snap. And it's overthrown to Eric Carson. There's a flag down.
Yeah, that ball was too high. That was not catchable.
Well, for the Glads being a second quarter team, I'd say Boyne City is holding their own so far, keeping them shut out at 0 points. Score here is still 12-0, and that clock is ticking down near 4 minutes before the half. We're going to check this
Illegal
flag.
shift.
So the Gladiators will take over on offense.
Well, your ref there, the white hat guy's wired. You can hear him over the speakers here.
And that's what WJML does, as they broadcast across the radio northern wide on, I think it's a channel on 97.
So we get a look at this defensive line. Coach has rotated some players like he does to keep them fresh. We'll see what happens here.
McCardle set to take the snap.
8 guys on the line of scrimmage for the Gladiators.
They're going to give it to number 5.
Nice
That's
job by
Pritchard, who
Egger.
gets brought down by Egger and a host of Ramblers
Egger
following
didn't get
him.
that tackle, but he sure plugged that hole.
Yeah, I think our
Holy
defensive
smokes.
coaching staff is thinking that the Glads are probably not going to pass, so they're creeping up and getting up on that line. And
Well, Egger was 10 pounds of plug in a 5-pound hole. He was there. Moody wants some popcorn.
It was like landing on the moon.
I'm hearing that we have Tom on the line from ESPN Radio. Welcome, Tom Devitt. How are you doing over there? Can you hear us?
You also got Mike Missico and Cody Lang joining you for the big broadcast. How you guys doing, man? What's going on? 12-0?
12-0. Boyne City Ramblers are leading, and all of as a result from Boyne City's stingy defense. Gladiators turning the ball over 3 times tonight so far, and as a result, 12-0 here.
Wow. Shocking start early on here.
It is.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Sellers before the game, and that's the one thing he said is we don't want to win or lose. We don't want to lose that turnover battle. And as a result, you can see turnovers are costly.
Well,
That's one thing. Come back. They're not sure they're built for it. They don't really pass much.
Well, that's been their Achilles heel tonight, is that passing game. 2 interceptions led to 2 Rambler scores.
All right, so what's the crowd like there?
We got the quarterback back to pass again as we talk here. He throws it out of bounds to the Gladiator bench.
Yeah,
the crowd is amazing.
Gladiators are stretched from end zone to end zone on their side, that's for sure. And Boyne City doing just the same and even more in the stands. So it's a packed place right now.
I'd say it's probably the most attended game of the season.
I think that's a fair statement.
For certain. Lots of folks here.
You guys have been doing this a while. How does this Boyne City team stack up to the one a few years ago that went to the semi?
In my opinion, they're just a little different. Our offensive and defensive line, I think, are the strength for us this year. I think in that other team, probably the skill positions were better at that time. So they're the same but different, I guess.
Defensively, though, Tom, I'd say defensively, you've got two teams, the 2014 team and this team. When you look at them on paper, you know, defense wins games. And when you can hold teams to an average of 9 points or less a game, chances are you're going to come out with a victory. And that's one of the things that I see as a mirror image of the 2014 season was that stingy defense, and we have it again this year.
Well, number 2, Hawk in the middle of the field right there, Jacob Ager, that's a huge difference. He's probably, in my opinion, the best football player in Northern Michigan.
Yeah, and he was under the tutelage of then number 2, Luke Sage, who was a part of that 2014
Which is why he wears the number.
And he pays homage to that number 2, but I think just passing that tradition down at linebacker and just spreading that defensive mindset.
He's 6 foot, 232, 35. He runs a 4.7 40.
Oh, kind of like me. Hey,
good for you.
If you like defense, this is it, man. 2 teams giving up less than 10 points a game this season. What a phenomenal defensive matchup, and it looks like it's not disappointing so far.
Not even a little
Joe
bit.
Ball on the run right now.
He's got some room.
Oh,
He's got some room. The 40, the 35, and he runs out of bounds right around the 35-yard line.
Well, that's a big run.
Tom, we had that run coming right at us, and it looked like from our point of view he was winning the horse race, but he took it out of bounds there around the 35 just to avoid a hit, I believe.
We'll let you go. You guys got your hands full. Appreciate you letting us join the broadcast. The biggest game of the night. This was a revolutionary moment in media. Can we catch up with you in the second half?
Yeah, I think we're planning on you guys joining us back in the fourth quarter. Is that correct?
Yep, we hope to.
Okay,
That's
well,
great.
Stay tuned in with you, Tom. Thanks for all you guys do at ESPN Radio Up North. It's sure how we get a lot of our news from you guys, so thank you.
All right, hey, all right, appreciate it. Keep up the good work, guys.
Tom and Mike from ESPN Up North Radio. Check them out. They are also on Saturday mornings. You can check out their broadcast where they highlight all the area sports, football highlights around. And this week is definitely a week that you want to catch that because all of these games have playoff implications whether teams are going home or going on.
2nd and 12 for the Ramblers.
Fortunately, Jake, for both of these teams go on as they've already earned their playoff bids.
There's a snap. It's going to be a pass. He's looking for, I believe, Hewitt, and just overthrown.
Yeah, Hewitt had his guy beat, had 2 steps on him. Want to thank Andre Eaton for giving us a shout out on RSN. Go Boyne, watching from Marquette while FaceTiming baby Shoe. Thank you, Andrea, good friend of mine. 2 years in the classroom, and she's off and well under her education program up there at Northern.
Well, we got folks watching all over. Jeff Hellebuck called me looking for the password. So Jeff's watching.
I think Austin Gardner told me he's going to be traveling out west. He's going to be tuning in, so thanks, Austin. And David Rushlow from Texas. I wonder if Kevin Crandall's watching.
Oh, you can count on that one.
Flag.
Delay a game here or
false
No,
start.
it's on Mason. 16 Mason Gardner. That's not good. You get a 30-yard run. We go backwards on the next 2 plays. We got to be a little more disciplined than that. Be interesting to see what kind of formation we come out in. That was a spread, you know, that tight bunch is what bought us some yards the last series.
And those are the small mistakes I was referring to, those false starts, those holding calls from the Ramblers that they get in good position, like you said, 1st and 10, and then now they're looking at 3rd and 17.
6 guys. They got 9 guys in the box here.
There's a snap. It's going to be a pass from Hills. He's looking for Gardner deep, and Gardner doesn't know where the ball is. That's going to drop as an incomplete pass.
Hey, Gardner looking over his right shoulder, and that one sails over to his left shoulder, and Gardner just misplaces the ball in the air, and that one drops incomplete. Expect the Ramblers to come out with a punt. Or, yeah, I'm looking at Gardner getting the call. And we've got a watcher coming in from Fort Knox Eagle. She's watching number 52, Caleb Walters, playing now for the Boyne City Ramblers.
Yeah, he's a junior. I've watched him play some linebacker in the last few games. He's a good-looking kid.
Caleb is looking great on the Rambler football squad.
Gardner set to punt and kind of shanks it out of bounds.
We might have to get him another pair of shoes, guys. I think he's kicking these to the left and to the right. Maybe that's the plan, though. Kick it right over here out of bounds.
22-yard punt, just inside the 20. It's not horrible.
Yep, we'll take it.
Could have been better. Not horrible.
Could have been worse.
Now here's where you got to stick to it. You got 1:27 left. No emotional letdowns. You don't want to change the tone of the game. You want to go into the halftime high. You know, up where you're at now. So nothing crazy. And St. Francis is just the opposite. Nothing to lose here. I suppose except points.
Number 9, McCardle underneath center to take the snap. He's going to give it to number 12, Simon. He gets brought down by 71, Maxwell Burke.
Well, if there's ever any doubt in your mind whether they're going to run the ball, watch that last set. There was no chance they were going to throw that football.
This second
Which is a good
quarter
move by Coach
winding down
Sellers.
to about 1 minute, brought to you by Stiggs. Stiggs is proud to support the Ramblers and its fans. Remember, you always bring your ticket stub down to Stiggs.
They're going to give it to 2, Keaton Peck.
Your ticket stub tonight gets you 10% off down at Stiggs Restaurant. I'd like to thank Stiggs and all of our local sponsors for broadcasting and joining us on RSN and My News 26. Stay tuned for the halftime show from Mr. Ivy's band, and also we have Paul Barton joining us on the halftime hot seat. So we've got a little history about his business and operation in town, and of course, as always, those wonderful trivia questions. What do we have in store tonight?
Well, yeah, you said Keaton Peck, the grandson of Don Peck. Is he a basketball player down there at St. Francis?
Official measurement. See if they got the first down.
Don Peck be the longtime barber in Boyne City.
And that's going to be a first down for the Glads.
Well, what do you do if you're the Gladiators? You got 41 seconds.
You run the ball.
Just want to run the ball. And
hey, what happens on pass play?
Right.
Only one good thing happens. Everything else is bad.
Not one thing has happened good for those.
That's it. So one good thing happens on a pass play. Everything else is bad.
Well, and there's that full house package again.
You have to. They're back here at the 30-yard line, their own 30-yard line. They've thrown 2 interceptions, which led to 12 points.
They reset the clock to 50 seconds.
Okay, gives them an extra 9 seconds to work with. Still, they're going to run the ball here. Clock starts to wind at 48, 47, and more.
McCardle gets a snap. Going to give it to number 5.
Nice job by Joe Ball.
Yeah, Joe doing just the right thing, holding him just long enough. Didn't make the tackle, but gets him.
Didn't make the tackle,
time.
but he made the play. Joe Ball did a good job at pushing him inside, letting big old Jacob Egger get to him.
That's all you got to do in this Rambler defense is hold that guy for a split 2 seconds, and you can guarantee help is on the way.
Oh, guaranteed.
There's a snap. Going to give it to number 5 again.
Egger filling that hole again.
Nice job.
That's Pritchard. 10 seconds left in the first half.
And this clock is going to wind down. I think
That's
the Gladiators and the Ramblers are going to go in at halftime with the score 12-0 Ramblers lead. We're going to say as a result of 2 turnovers from the Glads. And we're going to take a short break. Everyone, please stay with us as this conference championship showdown will continue on Rambler Sports Network and My News 26. We'll be right back. Please stay with us as this conference championship showdown will continue on Rambler Sports Network.
In the game of life, it's not how far you can hit the ball.
It's not how high you can jump. It's not how fast you can run.
Or how many points you score that matter.
It's really how you play the game that counts.
My high school athletic career will only last 4 quarters.
For a few years.
For that moment in time.
But the lessons I learned will last me a lifetime. Leadership, teamwork, hard work.
Work ethic.
How to deal with both success and failure.
Those will last me a lifetime.
We are Michigan High School Athletic Association.
A high school football game night is a unique experience, uniting a community in so many ways and showcasing other school activities. This grand setting helps kids learn life skills and build lifetime relationships in the safest environment ever, where teacher coaches, equipment, rules, and safety protocols minimize risks.
It's a true celebration of participation. Support your local school and its young people who enjoy this privilege.
Welcome back to the Rambler Sports Network with My News 26. I am joined alongside now with Paul Barden, and he's going to be in tonight's halftime hot seat, brought to you by WB Builders. And the marching band is about to take set. Paul, as soon as the marching band is done, we're going to have that headset on you, and we're going to ask you a series of a couple questions where you are the expert, and then I get to have a little fun with you, Paul.
All right.
We've got a series of questions. It's called the halftime hot seat, where I just fire off rapid questions to you, and you're just going to spew the first thing that comes to mind. All right? So that's fun. And expect total randomness here on those questions. We're going to take a listen to Brandon Ivy's marching band as they take the field. 2 weeks ago, they were in Traverse City at Thurlby Field doing their marching band expo, where they received huge support and accolades from the audience members as this band looked very sharp on that field that night.
Randy.
We might get some camera shots too, so if you're up here.
All right.
And begin tonight's show. Stand at the first and top 10 in the way. Next is the Silver Spoon 1978 Black Magic Woman featuring Steve Russo with Lydia Cornelli, Michaela March, and Elise Stafford, followed by 1971 remake of Tito Fuente's famous Boyne Cover. The band will stand at the 1999 collaboration. Matchbox 26. Rob Thomas, titled
2017 Boyne City High School fans. Major Ismer on the stand, and that last rendition was by Rob Thomas and Santana's Smooth as the marching band exits the field. I've got Paul Barden on set. Stand by. We're coming right back with our halftime hot seat from WB Builders. We'll be right back. You're watching Rambler Sports Network and My News 26.
Riddell, Smarter Football.
As Boyne City football players.
As Boyne City football players.
As Boyne City football players, we would like to thank Riddell for their commitment to helping us play smarter football.
Boyne City Football is proud to have been selected, trained, and certified as one of USA Football's Heads Up football programs. As a certified Heads Up football member, Boyne Football is committed to advancing player safety in the game and has been trained in USA Football's 4 pillars: equipment fitting, concussion awareness, heat and hydration, and heads up tackling. The training both our coaching staff and players have received by a USA Football master trainer has been an extremely positive experience, not only in terms of our success, but more importantly, our player safety. USA Football and Boyne City Football. Better, safer.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones.
Hello? Hi, Mom. Hold up, you gotta finish something. Talk to him. Help.
Hi, my name is Jacob Ager, and I play football and basketball here at Boyne City High School. And thank you for watching Rambler Sports Network here on My News 26.
Across Northern Michigan, you're welcome and watching the Rambler Sports Network and My News 26. My name is Roger Coates, standing alongside Paul Barden from F.O. Barden and Sons Lumber. He's our recipient tonight for our WB Builders halftime hot seat. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, Roger.
How are you?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's talk a little bit first about your sponsorship. We'd like to thank you here on RSN for all the things you've done this year, especially sponsoring the Rambler Sports Network broadcast. So we'd like to thank you for that. It's very important for what we do here on set. Can you start by telling us a little bit about your lumber company and its history, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, F.O. Barden & Son is the longest running family-owned business in Boyne City. It was started by my great-grandfather in 1922, and my grandfather continued that through the 30s and 40s. My father came to work for the company in 57. I spent 5 years in the service and came back in 1986. And my daughter joined the team in 2013. So there's 5 generations, and number 4 and 5 are there currently.
Amazing. 5 generations in one downtown local Boyne City business. That's F.O. Barden & Son.
Yeah.
Thanks for the history there.
Yeah.
So this is one of the events that you are part of. You help promote Boyne City's Rambler Sports Network. Can you talk about some of the other events that you are a part of in and around Boyne City's community?
Yeah, first and foremost, this is like the definition of a small community and how things work, and how the money and the support that local people give us and loyal customers that we can return back to the school and programs such as this. But we also sponsor Stroll the Streets and the Labor Day Car Show. We do lots of support for the 4th of July Committee and various other things along that line.
How about the future of your business, Paul? I mean, you've been here since 1922. You're going to make it till 2022 and beyond.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, that's our plans. My daughter Oscar's kind of taken us into the next level here with technology and stuff, and it's obvious that that's what this company's needed, and we plan on being here for our 100-year celebration in 22. Every the second week in May, we have a community and contractor appreciation deal, and that'll be bigger than ever in 22.
And I'm sure WB Builders, our halftime hot seat sponsor, I'm sure you see Bill in there quite a bit too, huh? Yeah. Take a look at this graphic here. What do you think? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Can you explain this, Paul?
Yeah, that's a advertisement in I believe like a 20s yearbook for Boyne City High School. I believe. That's the phone number, 146. The lumber
The
and fuel.
phone number was 146.
Yeah, lumber and fuel, and the fuel would be coal. We sold coal.
Really?
One time, yes.
So that was great grandpa there, huh?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Phone number was 146.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned, Rambler fans and all football fans across Northern Michigan. We're going to keep Paul Barden on set for the hot seat questions coming up right after this.
Okay, so that's the class for today. Remember, you've got some worksheets too. At least
Yeah, the finish line, Ames.
16.5. You got a couple quizzes. You have. Boy, back.
Welcome back to the Rambler Sports Network. My name is Roger Coates. I have Paul Barden on set for the WB Builders halftime hot seat. Paul, are you familiar with the halftime hot seat questions?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer. You're going to answer a series of questions. I have a bunch of them, and that's the way we like it. You don't know what's coming up, and these questions are very random. I'm just going to ask you a series of questions, and you are going to just fire off the first response that comes to mind if it's appropriate for on-air broadcasting. So we're going to take it to the halftime hot seat questions right after this kickoff by Traverse City Gladiators. Boyne City Ramblers will field the ball and get possession on the offensive side. And that takes a beautiful Boyne City Rambler roll out of bounds. So we got a flag on the field, and the Ramblers will start at good field position. All right, Paul, first question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're going to. What do you put on your hot dog?
Mustard.
Mustard only.
Ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup. Name a rap song you don't actually mind listening to.
I couldn't tell you.
Name a rap song.
Couldn't tell you.
Paul does not listen to rap.
Good for him.
Cheers or Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
Name the strangest thing that has ever been on the roof of the old high school.
The Republican elephant.
We might come back to that later in the broadcast. Name a concert where you were really, really out of place.
Willie Nelson at the Budokan in Japan.
In Japan, that's awesome. We were just talking about your wife from Japan, and I want to talk about this play right here. A first down run. Didn't catch who ran that.
Dylan Shulock.
Dylan Shulock, I believe his first carry of the night in the third quarter here. So Dave Hill's mixing it up, keeping those legs fresh for number 27, and he runs for a first down on his first touch.
He handed off 2 fakes before he gave him that ball.
Joe Ball gets the carry up the middle, and he skirts around a tackle or two, and he gets near or past the first down. And we're still here with Paul Barden. We're going to continue with our halftime hot seat questions. Name something always in your fridge, Paul.
Hummus.
Finish this sentence. When I dance, I look like...
Terrible.
Terrible. That's the first thing Paul came to mind. What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Probably just a 3 or 4 pound walleye. I'm not much of a fisher.
That's great. If you could have lunch with any famous person in the world, who would that be?
Jeez. Maybe Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. All right. That would be a great lunch. Fumble on the play, and I believe the Gladiators recovered here on this. So there's Boyne City Ramblers' first turnover. We're going to take another look here. Watch as we watch this, Paul. You're going to check out what we get to do here on Rambler Sports Network. Chuck's going to do this for us.
Nope, that's not it. They're going to do a fake.
Yeah, this is the Gladiators.
They're going to do a fake to Joe Baugh and try to pull it out and look like, and they bounced it off his hip.
So that's not the play we wanted. And the Gladiators sideline is fired up. Their stand is fired up, and this is going to swing some momentum the Gladiators' way. They're going to get the ball back. 1st and 10. Paul, I have 2 more questions for you, if you could stay with us. What's been your opinion of the game so far?
Oh, it's been incredible. Just beautiful weather for late October. The fans are out. The field looks great. And
Someone asked us that question about the fans, and it's unbelievable. There are more fans tonight than we've ever seen here in any game this year. So the fans have definitely turned out. I think you're right, Paul. The weather, a huge factor in that. All right, back to the hot seat questions. Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth?
Sammy Hagar.
All right, Rock fan. And as always, Paul, the last question, the Rambler wheel. Does it fly or does it roll?
It rolls.
It rolls. Paul is quite a thinker, I can tell. He's processing each question to answer properly. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
You're going to stay with us for just a short bit longer. And the Boyne City Ramblers, we're going to take a look here at this picture here. And I think
hey, there it is.
We made comments of this. Point us out here, Paul. Who are these three people here?
That's David Danville, and that's Marty Moody.
Popcorn.
And we're studying like we always do.
Look at this guy.
Yeah,
studying like they always
That's Oscar.
Do. Yeah, that happened. I don't know how that got up there.
Yeah, I'll bet you don't.
Looks like it happened in the middle of the night.
Stick to that story.
Somehow. But you knew about that. I asked that question just a moment ago, and that's exactly what you said.
So, funny how they find that research crew.
Yeah.
Good job, kids.
Paul knows his history in Boyne City.
That's great.
So you and Marty went to high school together. There's got to be a few great stories there other than the elephant. Yeah, you got one in mind?
Yeah, we actually, there used to be a set of pines here. There's some of the trees are over there. We cut one of them down and drug it in front of the tree or the school and stood it up and decorated it with negligee. And another night we also went around Boyne City and took every for sale sign in town and put it in front of the school.
I've heard that story.
Max Vondro sitting very close, listening very carefully to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So.
But it was all in good fun. And
if it's good enough for Mr. Barton, it's good enough for him.
Punt from the Gladiators, fielded by Trevor at the 1 yard line. And he's going to do everything he can to get that out of the end zone. He's still on his feet fighting to get up near the 7 yard line, but we have a flag on the play here. But huge effort from Trevor Wilcox. I believe he had no choice. If he would have let that go, that would have went out at about the half yard line.
Well, you're going to get her there anyways.
And this flag might bring us back to that point.
Or half the distance at least. But that fumble didn't result in points, which is a big deal for the Ramblers.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be a block in the back. All the confusion going on there. I think half the team didn't expect Wilcox to field that. And we can hear the Gladiators up close and personal. Check this out, Paul. They're right here. So this is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
We've got a view here. We've got a view here. And everything going on in the trailer. Isn't this great?
Well, they're gonna pack the line of scrimmage. You can bet that.
Yeah, they're coming in. Yeah, they got 8 in the box.
Look at them.
Tight.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hewitt drops back to Hills. Oh, and Carson almost burns him downfield.
Yeah, close.
Hills with a beautiful pass.
Yeah, good blocking. Good blocking.
I think that was a great play because I expected a run on that play.
Yeah. It's a good job by the boys up front to give Hills that time to get it off.
Well, Paul, we'd like to thank you for joining us on the halftime hot seat. Thanks for your continued service.
I appreciate what the program does, and I just hear constantly from elderly people that watch it at home and stuff, and it's a great program.
That's great. Great to hear that, and thanks for all you do with your sponsorship, and
you're welcome.
Congratulations on your 100-year mark coming up.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Paul Barden from F.O. Barden & Son. We'll get Jake Keltz back on set. Chuck Vondra with us.
Gonna give it to Price.
And the Gladiators players calling for a safety. Check in with the refs. They're calling a 3rd down play here. Gladiators holding strong on that line of scrimmage.
Well, you can bet they're going to come after it on 4th down if we got a punt. I don't blame them. I would too. I saw Pat Klooster over there. He's going to come over and join us here in a second.
Great.
The former coach, Tweeting guy, history winning.
Yep, brought the playoffs back to Boyne City in 2001.
Yeah, in the 90s he turned the program around, did a good job.
Hill's trying to get an offsides call here.
Pass. Gets Carson. Not enough for a 1st down.
But a little more breathing room for the punter coming out on this 4th down play. Sorry about that, folks at home. We want to remind this software program to update tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Jake, someone thinks your voice is golden.
Yeah, that's assistant baseball coach from last year, Josh Fritsch.
Josh Fritsch tweeting in. Hey, he is royalty, isn't he, Chuck?
Royal Jake?
Royal Jake's got to be golden. Thanks, Josh, for tweeting in.
Here's
sure
the
do miss
punt
you
for
around Boyne
Gardner.
City. And that one's going to go out of bounds. North Imageware is on. Pat Klooster's back right now.
I went up to the 8th grade football game the other night and watched Boyne beat Charlevoix, and John Bush was there and presented me with the T-shirt and a hat. So.
And you understood the trivia twist there, because Hills took a little leave of absence, came back, so you had it right. Hills, Noel, Hills, Klooster. And who was that before you?
Before me was Jack Gebauer, was here 1 year, and he was the one that had the sled dogs at the controversy. Do you remember that?
I don't know. I came here to Michigan when you were head coach. And
so he went to Vermilion College, and so I took over for Jack Gebauer.
Okay.
And then, ironically, Jack Gebauer, when Dave Hills came here, Jack Gebauer was over at Alpena where Dave Hills came here. So it's kind of a full circle. Yeah, it's interesting how that happens.
Well, from a coach's eye, what do you see tonight, Coach?
Well, it's been a game where the defense, it's the turnovers, and obviously when you field a punt inside the 10-yard line, it puts you in a hole. I couldn't tell if that was going to go out of bounds, but that's one of those you're better off just letting it go.
Yeah.
Here we go on a score right here.
Right here.
It's going to be a gladiator touchdown.
And that's not that's really comes off of field position right there. The field position was what Traverse City, they had the wind to their back, so they, hopefully that our kids will respond and come up on that. One of the things that's interesting too, when Dave, you'll see it a lot of times with older coaches, when they get a turnover, like Boyne City, Jacob Ager had that interception. Mm-hmm. The next play, you go for a big play, and Dave is notorious for doing that. I said to Matt West, was a player that played for me back in the early 90s. He's with me over there, and I said, watch, he'll go for a big play, and sure enough, he went for the big play.
Did. Chuck and I vowed we weren't going to say that on air, but Chuck was saying the same thing, though, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. You're right. I mean, that's what good coaches do, right? You take advantage of an opportunity there.
Well, the other teams, their heads are down, because the defense came off the field. Now they're back on the field. And so, you take advantage of that.
And the extra point is good from the Gladiators, and now this is a 12-7 game, a difference of just 5 points, and that puts the Glads right back within reach, and we knew that they were hanging in there. We knew it was going to be close, and the defense.
But when it comes to our Touchstone Energy Cooperative,
we all think about it the same way.
Well, I must say I've enjoyed watching the games on RSN at home.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the replay here, and Gardner had a shot at those ankles. Number 5, I believe that's Pritchard. Yep, just too fast for him. A key player for the Gladiators this year. And yeah, thanks, Pat. I see your tweets come in quite often. We sure appreciate that. I mean, especially a former coach from the Boyne City Rambler dynasty. And
well, I've enjoyed it. I had a lot of good years. 26 years I was in Boyne City, and I coached for about 8 or 9 years. And so great program, great kids, great community. Look at the sport tonight. There's probably 3,000 people here. I think the stadium seats about 1,200, and you've got another
that many standing.
And then some around the sides. So it's a great gate for the program.
I think Wilcox is going to let that one go out of bounds this time.
Good and congratulations to Dave Hills, too, for the NFL Coach of the Week. That's quite an honor.
Yeah, that is quite an honor. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, and just the things he's doing for this program, continuing to keep kids safe and making Boyne City football stick around on that map.
Yep, he'll be going to, I think he gets $2,000 to the program, and then he goes to one of the games down the road. Mm-hmm. I didn't give him a call yet to see if I can get on his waiting list for his extra tickets, but we'll find out. I'll see where I am in the pecking order.
Jake Keltz, we got the Ramblers back on offense. Oh,
looks like a false start.
With a 5-yard difference. That's tough because momentum's changing a little bit right now. You can feel it. The stadium shows it. The kids, they've got to respond. They've got to get a first down because it's going to be all about field position right now. And you've got 6 minutes left with Traverse City with the wind to their backs for the throwing the football. So this is an important series coming up right here.
This is a very important set of downs here. 1 minute. I'm sorry, first down, 15 yards to go on this first down play. Hills under center here.
Hills gets the snap. They're going to give it to Shulock. He's going to get brought down by a host of Glads.
Yeah, interesting. We didn't see Shulock run the ball once in the first half. He went to Kyler Price and Joe Ball and a couple Jets on the edge, and now we see a heavy dose of number 27, fresh set of legs. That's got to be a wonderful asset, huh, Coach, to have 4 running backs that you can trust in.
Yeah, it is. You know, especially if they, and that might have been something they looked at half. It looked to see who was getting the majority of the carries, and so now they got to look to see if somebody else, because they may be starting to key somebody or keying off tackle wherever it's been run
Gardner
to.
wide. They're going to give it to Ball. It's going to get brought down quickly by the Glads.
And the Glads holding the Ramblers to a 3rd down and about 9 to go here. Big 3rd down play here. Coach Klooster on set with us. Jake Kelts, Roger Coates. Chuck is still standing by. He'll be joining us back in a second. But as Coach Klooster said, big set of series right here. Big set of downs, 3rd down here.
This is a huge one right here.
And you can hear
left-handed quarterback, a lot of times they're going to be thinking on the left side, so you're looking at, and Gardner's on the left side. I'm sure through the stats through the years, they know he's kind of the go-to guy. As a coach, defensively, you're going to be looking at him.
And there you called it. You called it.
Left
Pass,
side.
Flag down.
Flag on the play.
Probably a hold on Joe Ball.
Yeah, I think Joe's already got that figured out. So it's going to put the Ramblers back even more for a long 3rd down play.
Well, they'll decline this because they're going to make them punt the ball. They don't want to give them another down on it, so I'm sure they'll decline it.
Yeah, Coach called it.
Yeah.
And the punt unit comes out for the Ramblers. And again, the wind is against the Ramblers punting team. So expect this ball to drop down somewhere near midfield, I would suppose, on a good punt.
And Traverse City's kicking game, kick and return game can kill you. They've done a wall for years. Even sometimes it hits the ground and it lets it have that wall to have time to set up, and then
boy, and the wind is,
they have an outstanding special teams.
All of a sudden the wind's really picking up.
Nice punt from Gardner.
That ball takes a
roll.
Good Boyne City ball roll.
Picked up right around the 51-yard line.
Well, I'll let Chuck get back on here, and shout out to the whole RSN crew. Stoked to watch. Oh, Zippy.
Yeah, that's Camilla Zip
Zippy
tweeting in, working on her animation as she's continuing her endeavor in the arts, and her creativity is amazing, and what she did here on set in RSN, also amazing. She's one great videographer, that Camilla. Thanks for tweeting in, Camilla.
Yep.
Hey, we also have another fan on standby. We got Drew Neer. He wants to get in here on the set.
I'll let you go, guys.
Yeah,
thank you,
Pat Klooster, for joining
Jacob,
us.
I'll let you do your color here. I won't take up any more time. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, I promised Drew Neer to get on here. I'm going to let him take my headsets. Chuck, you think you got this, little fella?
Oh, man, this is going to be something.
I'm going to let Chuck pick on you a little bit, but you got to make sure you're calling the game too, okay, Drew? All right, Drew Neer, folks, joining in.
Hello, this is Drew Neer.
All right, hold on, Drew. We're 2nd and 7 here. The Gladiators got the ball headed to the north end zone.
3 wide. It's going to be a keep. Gets brought down
Number
quickly
88.
by Dylan Williams.
Big Dylan Williams. All right. Well, that was a good play by Dylan Williams. We talked about him throughout the entire season and this game. When that guy breaks loose, that's the kind of play that he can make. What'd you see, Drew?
I saw a great break from number 3 to get him.
Yeah, he missed that tailback missed the big 88, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Dylan's pretty quick.
Here's a snap. Looks like it's going to be another keep.
Well, that's 4, what, 3 or 4?
Ryan Houts is going after him, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds by Wilcox and Ryan Houts for another loss.
Well, I tell you what, they've run 4 or 5 quarterback keeps in a row. And they set that up on the touchdown run, and they really like that play right now for some reason. I think the Ramblers are aware of it, though.
Yeah.
What happens now, Drew? What do you call?
I call Joe ball straight through the middle. And
Well, they're on offense. What do you think they're going to do? They're on offense. It's 4th and 16. What are they going to do?
Return. Punt return for a touchdown.
Okay, they're gonna punt. We're gonna return it for a touchdown. I like that call.
Yeah.
There's a punt. It's going to go over to Wilcox. Let's see if he lets it go. Or, yep, he's going to let it go into the end zone for a touchback.
That's a pretty good punter.
Yeah,
that kid does a nice job. He had a nice spiral. He's aiming for that corner, trying to pin us. I think he's probably trying to kick it out or knock it out at the inside the 10 there. Got her into the end zone, but that's okay. Ramblers take over, 1st and 10. 2:20 to go in the 3rd, up 12-7.
Can I look at that too? So I know.
Ethan Hills comes to the huddle. It turned into a football game, Jake.
Yeah, it did. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
The Ramblers knew it wasn't going to be a cakewalk, that's for sure.
Yep. His team is
Looks
huge.
like there's a Glad that's hurt.
Oh, it looks like 21. George Mackey, he's a junior. Looks like he's cramping. So hopefully nothing serious. They get him taken care of. Does give Coach Hills and his quarterback, Ethan Hills, an extra second to talk about what they want to do. Well, with 2:20 to go here, teams are going to be allowed to go to their respective sidelines and talk to the coaches. Well, Jake, what do you think happens now?
I bet you're going to see, looks like Trevor King's and maybe some fresh legs here.
Okay. Give him a healthy dose of that. Looks like Kyler Price is in too. So I would, if looking at that lineup, I would guess they're going to see a heavy dose of run.
Hills underneath Joels to take the snap. King goes in motion. They're going to give it to Wilcox. He's going to find a hole in the middle. Just keeps on running. Nice run from Wilcox.
Well, that's interesting to watch because it wasn't a straight dive. On that last series, we give straight dive stuff, and they jump the dive. There, he does a fake or two and goes counter to the off the right side, which keeps everybody home on the defensive side of the ball and opens a little hole. Gives us about 7 yards, so nice call.
2nd and 3 for the Ramblers.
Eight guys in the defensive line of scrimmage.
Hills gets a snap, going to give it to Price again. He's going to get a gain of about 2 yards, I believe.
Well, it's going to be 3rd down. Now, the problem with that 8 guys on the defensive line is if you get past that first layer, it's big trouble for them. Nick Allen, he's watching from Detroit. Love you guys. Go Boyne. Nick's at a hockey tournament, but good to hear that he's watching.
Yeah, playing all different states.
Yeah. Pretty good hockey player.
Hills gets a snap.
Yeah.
They're going to give it to Price again.
No, say that.
And can't
Well,
really.
they stopped the clock, so that's a 1st down.
That's going to be a 1st down for the Ramblers.
Well, that's important because now they'll start that ball, that clock will run, and now we'll go with the wind as opposed to being into it, which is a good deal for us. Not a huge win, but enough that we can feel it.
Carson out wide.
We got 9 guys right there in the box.
There's a snap. They're going to give it to King.
Better get it up and down there, Trev.
Here he
He's going
goes.
to try to cut back inside, and he's going to get brought
Drop
down.
the ball.
And there's a fumble on the play.
That's going to be Gladiator football. First carry of the night.
Not a good sign.
Well, when he cut, he got tall and got hit, and that's what caused the ball to pop out, look like.
Then we got an injury on the play.
We got a player down for the Gladiators. Well, you need a big stop, Drew.
Big one, too. If we're going to keep this game going, we got to play hard on defense.
Yep, we've done a pretty good job all year on defense. You know, they scored on that first drive there.
I would like to see more passes out on offense.
For us?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, they're bringing a lot of guys, so we got to have maximum protection so our quarterback doesn't get killed back there, right?
Yep.
All right, while we're waiting, we're going to head out to commercial with 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Mr. Coach tweeted to Drew Neer making his RSN debut. Hashtag the future. Good job, Drew.
Thank you.
Why do I like to live Boyne?
Why I like to live Boyne? Why am I proud to live Boyne?
I like to live Boyne because the entire community supports the athletics here. We have one of the loudest student sections in northern Michigan. It's awesome to play in that type of atmosphere. Thank you and keep it up, Boyne City. My name is Cole Butler, and I am a basketball and football student athlete here at Boyne City High School.
We're back.
All right, well, we're back live here at Earl Brotherston Field. The Gladiator player is still on the field being tended to by the training staff. Looks like they're moving his right leg around. And he gets up, which is a good sign. Glad to see that. He is number 8 for the Gladiators.
Henry Carroll.
Henry Carroll. Well, with that being said, young Mr. Carroll heads to the sidelines. The Rambler defense takes the field.
Big stop right here.
Well, they're in a tight formation again.
Very tight.
Looks like they're almost toe-to-toe on that offensive line.
Yep.
McCardle gets the snap.
It's a pass play.
Pass.
Overthrown to number 5, Teddy Pritchard.
Well, that's tough because he was pretty open out there.
Yep. Very open.
So they tried to pump fake him with a little bunch formation and then get out of it. All right, Drew, well, we're going to thank you for checking in and filling in for Mr. Coach. Congratulations. You did a great job on your first time on RSN.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To be here.
You're welcome. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Gladiators on the Rambler 33-yard line.
There's a snap. They're going to pitch it. He's still on his feet. Finally gets brought down by 27, Dylan Shulock.
Yeah, Dillon had him first contact in the backfield too and had to come back and make that play. You can see number 27 here. Shulock gets in the backfield of this play and then has to come back. That's actually 26 making the play there. Not sure who that was, but that brings our third quarter to an end. We're going to stay here and read an enhancement millage statement from Boyne City Public Schools and our Shariam ISD. Please vote. We have important election information to share. On November 7th, voters in each of the 11 Shariam ISD public school districts will be asked to consider an enhancement millage proposal of 1 mil for 10 years. This millage would generate an estimated $5.3 million per year, which is roughly $615 per student per year in each district, including Boyne City. The key focus of the funds here in our community will be on increasing the availability of a 4-year-old education. Capital improvement for school facilities and improving career readiness programs. So remember to vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Polls are open 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. For more information on this millage, please visit the Boyne City Public Schools webpage. There you go. November 7th is our enhancement millage proposal. That goes out to all the Shawram ISD schools. That third quarter brought to you by Up North Imagewear. Paul Barden was on set and proud to wear his new apparel from Up North Imagewear. So make sure you go see Shelly Bush, downtown Boyne City, where she is servicing locally, offering everyone friendly quality service at the lowest price in our area. Thank you for that third quarter.
Coach Klooster had his winning wares on as well.
He did.
He won the trivia question 2 weeks ago, was it?
Yep. And so who was our winner tonight? That was Brenton Fitzpatrick.
Brenton Fitzpatrick
We'll
got
hope
it.
to see him in new apparel in a playoff game. Oh, there might be some controversy I hear murmuring about.
Looks like they're going to give it to 12 here. Aaron Simon, who's going to get in for a Gladiator touchdown.
At the start of this fourth quarter, the momentum still swinging in Gladiators' possession as number 12 just crosses the goal line.
Well, he's got the edge on us out there.
And this is the first lead that the Gladiators have had all night long tonight, coming late in the game, early fourth quarter. Score here now 13-12, and at any moment we could expect Jacob Dean to be arriving to kick our extra points, hopefully. As we've gone to the end zone twice but failed to convert twice. I'm sure the Gladiators will set up for an extra point here, making it a 14-point attempt. Well, a 1-point attempt, which would be a total of 14 points. But we'll come right back after this commercial break. You're watching the Rambler Sports Network and My News 26.
Favorite thing about my street? It's safe.
It's quiet.
We rely on each other.
And we rely on our electric cooperative.
The co-op isn't just about electricity.
It's about power.
The power of information.
About safety.
Efficiency.
Technology.
So when I have a question about energy,
I call my Touchstone Energy Cooperative first.
In my community,
I am the co-op.
I am the co-op.
And the co-op
is me.
Captain Rowdy making his appearance back on the track, trying to get these Rambler fans fired up. Here he comes, Captain Rowdy. We need some Boyne City enthusiasm, that's for sure, as the Gladiators look to extend the lead. We'll see if they take an extra point attempt or two.
Well, I imagine they'd go for 2 here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for 2.
Makes sense. Do
Makes
the math
sense,
on it,
mathematically, right.
Ball's loose.
Conversion fails.
Quick whistle on that.
The Gladiators lead 13-12. We want to thank Ken Daney for tweeting in. Go Ramblers, watching from Canton, getting ready for the huge Wildcat game tomorrow. Thank you, Ken, for tweeting in all the way from Ohio. Appreciate that.
Well, it's turned into a football game, boys.
Yeah, this is it. Fourth quarter. This is what you want in the last rounds here. Let's see a duke out here between these two teams. Defensively, both teams doing what they do on defense, and I didn't expect a high-scoring game, but certainly didn't expect a 1-point difference here in the fourth quarter. So this is a great matchup. We saw it on paper all week long. They looked very comparable, and the score on the scoreboard tells the same story.
Well, the Gladiators withstood the momentum rush from the Ramblers. Hopefully now the Ramblers can do the same and return in kind here the score.
So the Ramblers will get the ball here with 11 minutes 48. Basically, it's the entire fourth quarter that we've got. And I'd say, guys, so far, first, second quarter went Boyne City's way. Third quarter, you have to give it to the Gladiators. Hopefully the Boyne City Ramblers can make a nice drive put together here.
Well, we're going to find out. Here comes the kickoff.
Number 23, Warfel, set to kick. It's going to go to Trevor Wilcox. It's going to bob and weave a little bit. Past the 30, gets brought down right around the 35-yard line.
That's a good return. That's what you want. Have him find a seam, hit it at full speed, get as much as you can, give your offense a good starting field position.
Well, that last touchdown courtesy of a Rambler fumble on their last drive. So 3 touchdowns tonight, guys, coming courtesy of turnovers. Dan Polly's tweeting in, "Go Ramblers, nothing better than a Friday night of high school football, watching RSN. Thank you to our 6th grade language arts teacher, Dan Polly's tweeting in. Appreciate that, Dan. Hopefully you've got some Rambler football fans surrounding you, enjoying the game tonight.
Going to give it to Wilcox. It's going to run for about 2 yards.
Ground and pound, guys. Let's see who's got the freshest legs. We talked about that in the first quarter. Who's got the freshest legs going into the end of this matchup?
Well, coach decides to go outside on that, test the lateral playmaking ability. That end did a good job at shoving him inside the linebacker field. Good defensive play by the Gladiators.
2nd down, 8 yards to go for the Ramblers. Ball's on the 38-yard line.
There's a snap. It's going to be a pass. He
Great
connects
pass.
with Mason Gardner.
And that's enough for a first down for the Ramblers.
Well, there's the problem with that. They put 8 guys in the box, and you give him time. One-on-one, Mason Gardner's a pretty athletic young man, especially as a receiver.
And talk about the arm of Ethan Hills. There's some athleticism there, too. You give those 2 time, and that's the results you're going to see, especially when you put all those defensive linemen in that box there, as you said, Chuck.
Well, you saw maximum protection on that. It looked to be a one-man route, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 10 guys in the box there and a one-man route. You got a similar setup here, a double wing, fullback, and a receiver in the slot.
There's a snap. They're going to give it to Price, who finds a hole.
Still fighting.
Still on his feet.
Let it
He's
go.
completely off the ground.
And
that's what a
whistles.
9-yard gain for the Ramblers.
Boy, he has got quick feet. He hits the hole, jumps sideways, gets forward, jumps the other way.
You wouldn't expect that from a 6-foot long-legged running back, but he's got the speed, the agility, and at the end, the power. It's just the full package. And you see why Coach Hills has found himself a gem and a runner here.
Well, he's a pretty tough kid. He comes by naturally.
I think it runs in that family.
Well, his mom was a Belford, so.
Hills gets the snap. Looks like they're going to give it to 8 Wilcox. Gets enough for the first down, and then some.
Smart run.
Gain of about 10 yards for the Ramblers.
Great block out there on that end. I didn't see who did it, but I was watching the cut. But a great block out there on that end. And Wilcox saw that and got upfield in a hurry. He was quick and decisive, which is what you want.
I think the soccer field, soccer team is getting a personal escort right now. Soccer team winning their division. And here they come. We can see
there we go.
Getting a police escort.
Here's your district champion soccer team from Boyne City.
And that means Jacob Dean will be here any second. How wonderful would it be for him to come in and kick that extra point for the game winning? And we need you, Jacob. Come on in here anytime, and the fanfare continues. Boyne City sports all around. Here we go.
Looks like Kyler Price again.
Guessing. It looked like they were guessing. They guessed wrong on that. We talked about getting to that next layer. It's going to be trouble when you pack that line of scrimmage linear with 8 to 10 guys.
I'd say that soccer parade couldn't have come at a better time. Talk about swinging some momentum back Boyne City way. Got Captain Rowdy routing up the fans and the crowd. And
2nd and 2 for the Ramblers.
Boyne City Ramblers on the move. 2 more yards from a first down here, and this keeps the drive alive, guys. This could be a huge drive for Boyne City Ramblers.
We got tight formation again. Ethan sent a signal out to his receiver, Mason Gardner.
There's a snap. It's going to be a pass. He connects with Wilcox, who stays on his feet.
Yes! Wilcox still on his feet.
Great play from the Ramblers.
Boy, talk about determination. I love the enthusiasm these boys are coming out with tonight. Not going down very easily.
I like the play call. They're looking at Mason Gardner, who just hit him for, 20 yards or whatever it was. I don't recall what it was. Hit him. So they bring Wilcox out of the backfield. Mason's
little
down.
short pass that time.
Yeah, they see, I don't know whether it was a real call or a fake call, but Ethan comes out and taps his shoe and looks at Mason, right? I would guess it was a fake call by looking at what happened.
Ball down around the 12-yard line, and the Ramblers are still on the move here.
There's a snap. Looks like they're going to give it to Hewitt, who gets brought down for a loss.
Excellent tackle by number 40 for the Gladiators.
Yeah, that's a good play.
That's Tom Hedgewald with a great heads-up backfield tackle. Drop for a loss. Nearly a 6-yard loss there for the Ramblers.
Just got to get a body on those guys. They're all very athletic-looking young men. Not overly huge, but very athletic.
Now looking at 2nd down and 16. Ball's backed up to about the 19-yard line.
There's a snap. I believe they gave that to Shulock.
Shulock with the carry. You're right, Jake. And that gets about 5 of those yards back. Still 3rd and long. Big 3rd down for the Ramblers here.
And you're in field goal range.
With the wind in our favor.
Where is your kicker?
3rd and 13 for the Ramblers.
Call a timeout so we can get Jed.
Somebody find Jed.
How great would that be? Jed walk right on the field. He's probably putting his uniform on right now. Right. Can't come out in your soccer wear.
Huge play here. There's a snap. It's going to be a pass. He's looking for Eric Carson. Goal!
Oh,
flag down.
It would be interference.
If Chuck's got this call right, it's going to be a 1st down for the Ramblers. Waiting for the call on the field. We're going to take a look at the replay in the meantime. Go ahead and draw it up, Chuck.
Right, it's going to be right down here. Yeah.
Holding. Defense. That's a Rambler 1st down. That is a huge turnaround.
Well, that bailed the Ramblers out right there. That should be 10 yards from the spot.
Okay,
no?
I don't.
No?
Hey, let's give everyone a recap of the game here. The Glads on a turnover march it down late into the 3rd quarter. Early in the 4th quarter score, and they go up for the first time in tonight's game. The Gladiators are holding on to a 1-point lead with just over 6 minutes left. The Ramblers taking advantage of an excellent drive, well put together by some fantastic runs by a couple of key individual running backs. And now looking down here, pass interference or a holding call makes it 3rd down and about 5 for the Ramblers on the 8-yard line. We want to welcome all of ESPN Live, ESPN Radio listeners to our broadcast tonight. It's the St. Francis Gladiators and the Boyne City Ramblers playing host. Again, 13-12. St. Francis just taking a lead here early into the 4th quarter.
Well, you tuned in right at crunch time. The Ramblers got the ball at about the 7-yard line. That was a 3rd and 16 play that the Gladiator defensive back got called for holding. Had he not, that would have been a 4th and 16 play. Instead, it's 3rd and 6, it looks like, with the ball at the 7. So the Ramblers can get a 1st down if they get to the 1-yard line. Coach Hills just called a timeout while Roger Coach is welcoming in the ESPN listeners. He brought his team to the sideline. He's got them out to the line of scrimmage waiting for the Gladiators.
And that's Chuck Vondra that you hear talking. If you've heard the name before, yes, that's our sheriff in Charlevoix County. Alongside both of us is Jake Keltz, a senior this year. Senior Jake Keltz knows these guys pretty well, don't you, Jake?
Yeah, I do.
He's going to take it away with our play-by-play.
There's a snap. It's going to be a pass, and he gets brought down.
Well, that's 13, the middle linebacker right there. Nice play by him. He just brings it up the middle. Nathan Schmuckel.
That's a big play for the Gladiators on 3rd down. That puts the Ramblers in a really tough situation. Opportunities here for field goal possibly, or 4th down conversion.
Well, the Gladiators have really brought a bunch of guys to the line of scrimmage. As little as 6 and as many as 9 that we've counted, I believe, at the line of scrimmage.
You got Carson and Gardner out wide. Huge play here.
Oh gosh, this has got to be the biggest play of the game so far. If you're listening on ESPN radio, this is it. 4th and 14.
It's going to be a pass. He's looking for Carson. And overthrown.
Yeah, he just missed him. Yeah, the ball was just thrown out of the back of the end zone there.
Oh my gosh, if you're listening at home on either RSN or ESPN radio, that ball came into the corner of where our set is, just about 1 yard overthrown to Eric Carson. Had that ball been 1 yard shorter, Chuck, this would have been a game changer.
Absolutely.
And we got a Gladiator player down. Looks like cramping.
Number 40, Tom Hedgewald. He's cramping up here. Can't blame him. They've played a tough football game. Well, both teams are at their respective sidelines waiting for Mr. Hedgewald to be treated here.
Well, while we have a lot of fans listening either on RSN or either on one of the broadcasts that are here tonight, we had TV 7 and 4, we had 9 and 10, and now we have ESPN listeners that we'd like to welcome. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our program here on RSN. Who are we? We're the Rambler Sports Network, and we are a division of Boyne City's award-winning visual imaging program, known around Northern Michigan simply as Team BCVI. Boyne City's visual imaging program is one of many career and technical education programs offered as part of the Charlevoix-Emmett Intermediate School District career and technical education programs. Team BCVI's RSN is a perfect example of CHAR-M's CTE programs. That's our career and tech education, training tomorrow's workers today by exposing students to the real-world experiences. And we have a tremendous amount of testimony. I just talked to Dominic Santina just this morning. He said that he's going to be at Rochester College. Jake, he was in your shoes 2 years ago, and now he's calling games on Rochester College's basketball program. Before that, it was Jill Solomon. She's calling and doing technical directing duties on Michigan State.
Yep.
Jake's done a great job the last 2 years calling color and play-by-play with us, and the list goes on and on and on. Caden Coates, he's been technical director here. He's down at Grand Valley continuing his education and training in the videography world.
And be mindful that there's 20 kids putting this broadcast together tonight, which is an amazing feat.
Chuck, you and I are the only adults on the set.
Well.
and Calcaterra in there calling all the shots. So.
Count Randy, but. Well, the Gladiators come back out. Good news is young Mr. 40 walked off the field. Looks like he was just cramping.
And so we've got soccer players coming in. Boyne City just won their district final. Soccer players are going to be taking the field here in just a second. But the Ramblers back on defense with just under 6 minutes to go. This game couldn't be any more intense.
There's a snap. It's going to get brought down by Gardner.
Well, that's just base blocking up front. I watched the right guard. He just stepped right and blocked right. They came in behind him. Just a base run play right there. Good for about 9 yards.
We got Oliver Britton on set. Oliver is the one behind the camera that you're looking at now. That's Ian Meyer and the entire soccer team holding this year's 2017 district final trophy as they're about to make their way onto the football field or football track here in just a few minutes in front of the entire Boyne City football fan crowd. We'll talk about that tweet in just a second. We'll fill you in.
Goes to number 5, Pritchard.
Oh, look at Dylan Williams coming from the backside of that defensive end position all the way around that line, Chuck, to make that play. Andy Nelson, yeah, there is actually a human inside. He's not all of 9 feet, though. It's one of our taller BCVI team members. But most of that of Captain Rowdy is filled with air, I believe.
Oh, while that was going on, the Gladiators picked up the 2nd and 1 they got a first down on the 29-yard line, headed towards the south end zone into the wind.
And they keep this drive going with just under 5 minutes ticking away.
There's a snap. It's going to be a pitch to 5.
No, Pritchard.
Gets brought down by Shulock.
Well read by Shulock and also Dylan Williams. That looks similar to that first play, guys listening at home or on ESPN radio. Boyne City's very first possession was a pitch just like that.
Here comes Jacob Dean.
Jacob Dean, soccer player, just was in Grayling winning the district final, and he's now coming on to kick for Boyne City. Shall we need him?
Well, that play was good for about 3 yards, and they attacked that crashing end, as you talked about, went wide. I'm sure the coaches saw that.
And the point I was trying to make, Chuck, that first opening possession by Boyne City was a pitch to the left side and then a toss downfield, and that was our first score of the game tonight.
Goes to Pritchard.
They're getting their way up front right now, it looks like. Another good for about 6 more.
Yeah, the Gladiators do that one more time, and they keep this drive extended again.
It's a 13-12 game, 3:35 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 1. Looks like on about the 37-yard line.
This will be a huge play for the Ramblers if they can get the stop here.
Ramblers defense have been stingy all year. Let's see if they can come true right now is where we need them.
Well, everybody's betting run here.
Going to 5.
And the Glads get the first down.
Yeah. Good run by number 5, Teddy Pritchard.
It's going to be a first down for the
He
Gladiators.
went over to left guard, needed 1, got 2.
Guys, I'm going to call this next series of 4 downs a must stop for Boyne City. They're going to want to make anything happen on their offensive side of the ball here. Clock ticking now, under 3 minutes to go in this game. Boyne City, I believe, has 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, it's 1st and 10, ball on the 40-yard line, be the Gladiators' own 40.
McCardle under center for the Glads.
There's a snap. It's going to get brought down quick by not brought down. Whistle's blown, but Jacob Egger wraps number 5 up.
Yeah, Jacob Egger filled that hole as fast as Pritchard
Well, it looks like
could find
Coach
it.
Hill's called timeout with 2:36 to go. And why wouldn't you? It's a good defensive stop. Well, if ESPN listeners can listen, our official on the field is wired up, so we're listening to the call from the official in the white hat
I think
live.
fans at Thurlby Field are used to that.
Are they? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to hopefully look at this play
on
again.
RSN, we have the capability of drawing plays up. Chuck usually does that, so you can't see it. But you
On the
can
radio, yeah.
draw this up here on the radio. Meanwhile,
we're
Chuck, if
looking
you look
at-
to your right, you see the soccer field making their way.
Soccer players, yeah. Well, we're not getting it back, but big Jacob Egger stuffed the middle there, and the officials saved that running back sparing blow to the turf here. But 2:36 to go in the fourth quarter. Ball on the 40-yard line, their own 40. There's still time for the Ramblers to make a couple stops and get the ball back.
I think Jacob Dean showed up just in time to realize how important he really is on this team. And boy, I could have made those 2 extra points. We could have been, or Boyne City could have been in the lead 14-13. Jacob Dean, for those of you that don't know, is a soccer player, but also kicks field goals and extra points for us. Surely missed him the last 2 games.
2nd and 10 for the Glads.
Huge step
Fumble!
right there.
Fumble! Did the Ramblers
out.
get it?
Ball's out.
Ramblers get it!
Is it Ramblers football?
Oh, they haven't called anything yet.
Well, the Rambler
ball.
And there's
Rambler
the ref.
football!
Rambler football. I got to see this
Huge
again.
play for the Rambler defense.
2 minutes and 30 seconds to work with. And here we are, guys. Momentum swing for the Ramblers. An opportunity has just been granted. Chuck's going to draw this up if he can, but turnover. Gladiators on their 2nd down play. Good call on that defensive timeout.
I don't have it. Here it comes. Yeah, we're watching Jacob Egger. He's going to flow this way to the ball. I say this way would be to the Ramblers' right. There's a lot of bodies there. I can't tell who it is. What I can tell you is Jacob Egger was double teamed without a doubt. They're
There's
going
a
to take
snap
him
from
out.
Hills. It's going to be a run from Price, who gets brought down by a host of Gladiators.
And the Gladiators have come to play this last drive, that's for sure, holding on to their
there's-
1-point lead. We are nearing the 2-minute mark in this game. It is the fourth quarter, and for the first time tonight, the last score from the Glads put them in the lead 13-12. The difference, their 1-point conversion. Boyne City not able to convert twice, and the score here is 13-12. Boyne City just got the ball back with a turnover and march.
Hills gets the snap. It's going to be a pass.
Maximum protection
He's
in.
looking for Gardner. Oh!
That's good defense right there.
Incidental contact. I don't see that there's a flag there. Both going up for the ball.
Nope, good play by, look like 26 right there.
And we're going to have the option here on RSN to take a look at this replay.
It's going to be over here.
I don't think there was anything
good play
about that. Nope, just both players going up for the play.
Good football play by that kid. Well, it's 3rd and 9 with 1:47 to go. Ball on the 40.
And this has to be the biggest third down play for the Boyne City Ramblers tonight so far. Wouldn't you say, Jake?
For sure.
Well, if you're coaching, you get a good chunk of it right now on third. It's 2 down territory. Obviously, you get it all if you can, but definitely get positive yards, make it manageable in the fourth.
Kyler Price is the solution.
It's going to be another pass.
He's got Max.
Looking for Gardner. Yeah! He gets the catch! He gets the catch!
Pass complete to the 5-yard line.
Flag down at the line. Flag down at the line.
But the Ramblers down to the 5-yard line, but Jake sees a flag. Clock stops at 1 minute 40 seconds.
It looks like it's going to be on the Gladiators.
Gardner saying he was down. Number 2 looks as if the call is going to go against the Gladiators.
There'll be a hold on him, I think.
And for sure, the Gladiators is going to see a decline as the Ramblers are 5 yards away from a conference championship. So it was 2nd down, 3rd down.
3rd and 9.
And 9 to go.
From the 40.
Mason cuts across the middle, slant route inside.
On the money.
Ethan Hill's perfect on that target. Gardner immediately brought down, but drugged the tackle another 2 yards and gets to the 5-yard line. Ramblers 1st and 5.
Wilcox goes in motion. They're going to give it to Wilcox.
And he's still going. And he's down to the 2-yard line.
2-yard line. There's 1:19 to go in the game. Ethan Hills runs over to the coach.
And Coach Hills knows.
Timeout Gladiators.
Timeout Gladiators. They're going to hope to save a little time here. And the Ramblers fans are on their feet. Listen to the noise in the Earl Brotherson Stadium right now.
This is what you're going to see right there. Boy, we just illustrated the play right there where the motion came from the left to the right there. Wilcox came in motion and cut upfield. If we get some downfield blocking, that's a touchdown. We're going to cut to Grace Wells. She's got some... no, we're not. She's talking to the camera guy. I'm not going to go to Grace Wells. We're going to stay here.
On our scoreboard, guys, I called it the 2-yard line, but B. Reinhardt up there running the clock, she's got it on the 1-yard line, which I agree now that I see the ball placement. The Ramblers 1 yard away from taking the lead with near 1 minute left in this game. Therefore, the Gladiators taking their timeout. I think all the broadcasts here tonight are certainly moving around now. You can see cameras coming out. You can see them running as fast as they can everywhere to get in set position.
The plays in the north end zone, folks. It's 1:16 to go in the game. Gladiators lead 13-12.
And Tom and Mike, you guys are getting a show back at the studio, I'm sure. Thanks for letting us send this game out to all of our listeners on ESPN Radio up North Michigan football.
Well, the Ramblers come to the line. They're met there equally by about 8 Gladiators, it looks like.
And here we go, 2nd and 1. Wilcox in motion.
He's stopped.
And the Gladiators defense with a huge stop, even a loss on the play of 2. Backs the Ramblers up.
That was a great defensive play. Looked like number 8 came from the backside of that.
Ramblers have 2 more plays to make something happen here as the clock is ticking. The clock is still moving, 53 seconds, 52, 51. Ramblers in the huddle. They're breaking huddle. 48 seconds to go. Ramblers do have 1 timeout. Shall they need it?
Gardner out wide.
They're going to run this way, I bet you.
Hills gets a snap. They're going to give it to Wilcox.
Stop.
Who gets stopped.
Timeout. Boyne City, their final stops at 33 seconds. This is 4th down. Maceo Vroman, are you listening? You've been here before in Ithaca.
Well, here you go.
Chuck, we were there.
You just called it. Your kicker walked into the stadium.
Here comes Jacob Dean onto the field.
Jacob Dean could win this game.
Well, it's not over. It's 33.5 seconds left in the game. The Ramblers are down 1. Ball's on the 5-yard line. It's on the far right hash. And I believe he is a left-footed kicker.
And all signs are pointing towards a field goal unit coming out onto the field.
Well, Ethan Hills has left the huddle, and Jacob Dean is in, so that's a clear indication that they're going to go for the field goal here.
Zach Backus, also a soccer player, making his debut tonight. And Rambler fans are on their feet. Gladiators are also on their feet. This whole stadium is in suspense in these last 33 seconds.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
This is Boyne City's last opportunity, Chuck. This feels so much like Ithaca 3 years ago.
Here it is.
The entire production crew's on their feet. This place is about to go nuts with Jacob Dean, the kicker, getting in position. The ball about to be snapped. Everyone's praying.
Well, here we go.
There's a snap.
Ball snapped.
No ball.
Oh, fake!
Ethan Hewitt's got to go for the run. He's looking for a pass in the end zone.
Yeah! Touchdown! Touchdown, Ramblers! That's a bad snap, and Ethan Hewitt throws a touchdown. Unbelievable. It was a bad snap. Ethan Hewitt had to get up, roll to his left, hit a streaking Eric Carson, I think it was, in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Ramblers up 18-13.
Jacob Dean never had a chance to kick that ball. Low snap. Not by plan. Ethan Hewitt finds the back of the end zone. Dylan Shulock holds the ball as he's going tipsy-turvy.
I cannot believe what I just saw.
Shulock is going lateral here.
Great catch by Shulock.
For the folks that listen on the radio, he is hit while he's in the air, making the catch, and holds on to the ball.
And Jacob Dean gets another chance to kick this ball for the extra point this time, putting the Ramblers up to 19 if he makes it.
That's good.
And there it is. Ramblers are up 6.
All right, we're going to look at this again here.
The last time. Sorry, Chuck.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the last time, I just want to remind viewers that the St. Francis Gladiators lost a regular season game was here 3 years ago. And if they can hold on, the Boyne City Ramblers defense, 22 seconds left, we'll experience that once again.
That's about the most unexpected way to score a touchdown here tonight. And there's a good job. And Dylan Shulock and Ethan Hewitt both did a great job. But you see Dylan Shulock calling for the ball in the back of the end zone. He's in the air while he catches the ball. He gets hit by 2 Gladiators, goes down, and maintains possession of the ball. That's an amazing catch. It's an amazing football play by both those kids.
Can I say for the record, that's Ethan Hewitt's second touchdown pass tonight. Very uncharacteristic for his role on the team.
You know, when I saw the snap, I thought Hewitt, the snap was just too low for him to hold it, so I thought he was just going to try to run for the end zone, but I guess that was the plan the whole time.
Well, he had to get away from a Gladiator.
Yeah.
It looked like he had a hold of his jersey there.
Yeah, he had number 2 hanging on to him as he's throwing. And he's throwing very awkwardly as he runs to the left. He's throwing with his right arm. Boyne City with a 6-point lead, 19-13. The Gladiators have 22 seconds left on the clock, and they feel the sting. They have not lost a regular season game in 30 straight games.
Well, it's not over yet, gentlemen. This is a football team that can score. They're very athletic young men.
And
they're all fit
Closter
and fast.
was on set. Coach Closter said, "This is where they're most dangerous. The Gladiators can score from a kick return," and here they go.
Kick from Mason Gardner.
Ooh.
Just shanked it.
Kicks it out of bounds. Well, I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but nonetheless, he kicks the ball out of bounds on the Ramblers sideline. So the Gladiators will get the ball with 22.3 seconds to go on the 40-yard line, I believe.
Once again, if you're just tuning in on RSN because you've heard the excitement or you're listening on ESPN Radio, my name is Roger Coates alongside Chuck Vondra, Jake Keltz, and you're listening to the Gladiators and the Boyne City Ramblers, where the Ramblers just took a lead. 19-13 is the score, 22 seconds left, and the Gladiators are taking the field on offense, 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line.
Looks like the Ramblers are a little prevent here.
Deep pass.
Nice job by Mason Gardner. Gets his hand up and knocks the ball down. That'll be 2nd down with 14 seconds to go. Well, the Ramblers are in prevent here. They got 3 defensive backs back. Of course, you got a 6'4" guy that can jump 4 feet in the air. He just gets up, tips the ball with his right hand, knocks it out of bounds.
Chuck, if you look behind you, you got a 9-foot guy behind you.
Well, goodness sakes. Look at him. Well, here you go. This is 14 seconds.
Unbelievable.
It's a 19-13 game, 14 seconds to go.
And the wind is picking up.
In the face of the Gladiators. Now they're headed south.
McCardle under center.
It's going to be another pass.
Uh-oh, big Dylan Williams is coming.
Little screen bubble. They got lots of room here.
Gets
oh my goodness!
Shulock again.
One Rambler to that side is Dylan Shulock. 3 blockers. He beats them all to make the tackle.
Dylan Shulock splits the defenders, attacks the ball, and makes the tackle. This is the same kid that just made the touchdown.
2.7 seconds left, and you're right, Chuck. Same player that just made the touchdown makes that open field tackle where the Gladiators could have picked up some huge yards there.
Dylan Shulock splits him. Oh, bad decision by 10. He had 2 blockers to the left, and he stepped to the right, and Dylan Shulock was there to introduce himself.
Well, guys, this game started with an Ethan Hewitt touchdown pass. Will it end with an Ethan Hewitt touchdown pass?
Ethan Hewitt touchdown pass after we intercepted the ball, and we gave them kind of a flea flicker play where we tossed it to Ethan Hewitt, and he throws deep for a touchdown. He was wide open. Mason Gardner was.
We thought there was 2.7 seconds. They just put 3.2 on the clock here.
Well, for all intents and purposes, folks, this is going to be the last play of the game.
They want 4.5 seconds on the clock.
Or they give them 4.5 seconds left. But for all intents and purposes, this is it. So the Ramblers got to keep the Gladiators out of the end zone. Gladiators have 65 yards to go to get there.
Well, for a Gladiator team that's used to putting up 40 points a game, held to 13 so far tonight.
Here it is, the final play of the game.
Ball snapped. It's a pass play.
Drops back, way back. Launches it.
He's looking for 15.
Throws it deep.
And that's going to be a Rambler victory.
Boyne City Ramblers win tonight's game 19-13 and are your Northern Michigan Legends conference champions with a 9-0 record. The Gladiators go 8-1.
That's a hard fought football game, guys.
That was a very good football game. You can catch it all again live. Not live. We were just live, but you can catch it all recorded on Boyne City's website. Go to Team BCVI's link. Check all the game action. It'll be broadcast again on our website. And also on My News 26 over the weekend, if you'd like to catch all the action once more. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors tonight. We'll go ahead and do all of our sponsor reads, including our MHSAA read, followed by our Crucial Catch Pink Jersey Awareness as we get all of the sponsors on the field.
Well, while you do that, we'll talk about Rambler football for a second.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Your 8th grade, your JV, and your varsity all go undefeated in this football season.
That's 23-0 for the season.
23-0, which is a good year for Rambler football. I do want to give credit to that Gladiator football team. That's a good football team. They are well coached. They're athletic. They're good football players, and they're going to go a long ways. Don't forget, I believe they're Division 7, maybe 6 now. We're Division 5. The Ramblers are. So we'll be undefeated going into the playoffs, but it's a different experience than the Ramblers are used to because we've typically played in Division 6. Now we're Division 5, which gives us some different teams to play. The Gladiators will go 8-1, make their Division 6, I believe, maybe 7 playoff run.
Well, look at that. You got the entire community, 12th grade and under, all marching their fans and football players on the field. Hey, this is good sportsmanship, Chuck. The whole game was great sportsmanship. We saw great athleticism from both teams, and nothing beats good sportsmanship. A great game in sports is like tonight when your team puts it all together, but it's not just about how you execute as an athlete, it's also about how you execute as a person. It's showing good reflexes and respect, and it's showing confidence and character. It's showing skillfulness and sportsmanship. Now that's a great game because nothing beats good sportsmanship. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value of educational athletics. Once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors tonight. Sponsors including Stiggs. Stiggs brings the family in for lunch and dinner. Come on out and check out our awesome new atmosphere in one of Boyne City's most historic buildings, Stiggs Restaurant. Also, F.O. Barden & Sons, located in downtown Boyne City. Barden Lumber has everything you need for your home project right here locally. Also, Barrelback Restaurant, a well-known contemporary restaurant located in Walloon Village, striving for superb, excellent customer service, serving extraordinary food right here in Walloon Lake. And also our WB Builders halftime sponsor, WB Builders, proudly building in for our community by employing locally, purchasing locally, and servicing locally. Please help thank all the sponsors with your patronage, and be sure to let them know that you enjoyed this Rambler Sports Network broadcast, which they all made possible tonight.
That's 2 big wins for the Ramblers on Friday night here in October.
Chuck, that was about as close as you can get to a playoff feeling game as you're going to get. For the Ramblers going into the playoff season, that's exactly what Coach Hills could have asked for right there.
Well, we talked at the beginning of the broadcast, and we weren't overhyping it as the game and a big game, especially in football, for sure in Northern Michigan. This was the game, the big game. You could tell by the fans that were here on both sides. Neither side was let down as it came down to a good football game for sure.
And this came, such a good game. It came down to the last under a minute. I mean, we're under a minute in the game and still undecided who's going to win the game.
So a turnover. We dropped the ball, give them the ball back. You know, we got 2 interceptions. We had a couple of turnovers. I think you talked about that at the beginning of the game. You know, the team's got to keep control of the ball.
Yep.
And you're dead nuts right in that was the result in the end of the game, a turnover and a big pass play from Ethan to Mason Gardner to bring the ball down to the 5. And then Jed Dean comes in. Everybody thinks it's going to be a field goal attempt. It's a bad snap. And heads up football.
Heads up by Ethan Hills. He's out on the field right now, just emotional as a player can be.
Heads up by Ethan Hewitt on that. He's the holder on that. He gets up, and there's a call on that. When that happens, he's screaming a call. Bingo, fire, poison, Peter, whatever the call is.
Get open.
Yeah.
Get open now.
It just went south. Let's get north, right?
And Shulak listening, paying attention, runs his route, and clearly jumps over 2 defenders, going horizontal in the air, grabs the ball and lands it. I was watching the ball, Chuck. I don't know if you were, as he's landing to see if he held possession.
I was.
Hits the ground, maintains control. It's in his hand the entire time. You can see the ref waiting to see if that happened also. And
it's an amazing athletic play by that young man. He gets hit while he's catching the ball in the air. All that happens while he's in the air. And he hangs on. He has to lean to his right and go parallel to the ground to catch that ball. It was just a phenomenal football play.
Well, Chuck, I'm going to leave it over to you. I'm going to head over to the pink awareness section of this game, so stay tuned. We're going to
all right.
Chuck, you're all by yourself because I think Jake left you too to go join his senior class.
Well, we can handle this. That's
I'm going to head on over and meet my wife, Kim Coates, as Carter's going to present a jersey as well as all the other varsity players who are sponsoring a jersey tonight.
Well, appreciate you filling in here, and good luck with that. It's a big night here at Earl Brotherston Field.
I'm sure we'll be together next week, Chuck, for the first round of playoff district game starting next weekend. You guys wait for Sunday night to see our draw?
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll see where we'll be next Friday or possibly Saturday.
Well, while Roger Coates heads off to the pink thing here, it's the cancer awareness game that the Ramblers play every year. The jerseys are sponsored by someone who has either been through or has a family member that's been through the cancer battle. Some have made it, some have passed, which makes it an emotional game in the first place here. So the players are dressed in their pink jerseys, and on the back of the jersey is the name of the person that they're playing for that experienced that cancer event in their life. So it's a big deal. It's an emotional time for everyone involved. And, of course, it's an emotional game. The Ramblers and Gladiators come in both undefeated to have a playoff experience here. And the trailer's being rated by Ethan Hewitt. We got the fans lining up over on the sidelines in front of our bleachers waiting for the presentation, but they're having a hard time getting control of the folks, which is understandable after a big win like this. Well, we got soccer players milling in and around, so it's a big night for Rambler Athletics here. If I try to get Ethan Hewitt back here into the circle. While we're waiting here, I've grabbed Ethan Hewitt. I'm going to have him explain. Ethan, I put a headset on you here. I'm going to have you explain. You were the holder on that play. If you could walk us through what happened while we're waiting for the coach to gather the team up here.
Yeah, so Jed comes in late fourth quarter, and we know we have our kicker back finally, and we're only down by 1. So we line up to kick that with just a few seconds left. And really, that was supposed to be a kick. All that happened is the snap was low, and normally we even roll out to the left, but I saw defensive pressure coming the other way, so I spun out, yelled fire, fire, fire. The halfback tight end rolled out. I had to stiff arm one guy down, just kept stretching it until he opened up, just lofted up to him, and he went and made the play. That was huge.
So I assume you guys practiced that play, and then there's a call for that.
Yeah, we practice. If it's in the dirt, we just call fire, fire, fire.
Okay, and when that happens, your linemen know to go into pass block?
They're already stepping back on the field goal, so they just sit there, and then we just bail the outside too.
They stay in pass block because your goal is to throw the ball.
Exactly. If it's nothing, then I can step in.
We're gonna see the play again here.
Okay.
Well, hopefully this does not look like it. This looks like here it is right here.
Yeah. So my body might block it, but the ball does come up short, and it's before the tee even gets there.
You can definitely see that. Here it comes.
Yeah. So it's real low. Oh, that's the make.
Oh, that's the extra point. Let's see if we can.
That's the extra one.
That's not it either. The ball definitely comes in low. Here it comes.
Yeah, see, that's pinned before the tee gets there.
Explain to us what's going on.
I have to stiff arm this and I keep stretching, looking, and just put it up for him.
Before you throw that ball, what do you see?
First, I saw tight end. He didn't hear the call, so he wasn't leaking out. I saw Dylan start to look, and when he saw me, it was just eye contact, and he knew it was coming.
Well, you couldn't pick a more athletic guy to throw to, could you?
Yeah, exactly. He can go up for that. That's all we need to do.
Twisted and pretzeled and all kinds of things. He goes up, and we can't see it here. Here's Jed's man. Nope, here you go.
Yeah, there it is.
We're going to watch him leak out here. He's going to come right here.
So just keep stretching that, and then as soon as he stepped up, I just tried to get it in there to him.
So he's up. He gets hit. He has to lean to the right, catch the ball, puts it away, touchdown.
Yeah, and that's incredible. I mean, early in the game, you saw that 2-point conversion. Another acrobatic catch down there that they didn't count, but he made up for it right here.
Yeah, it was. Talk to us about the first touchdown throw of the game.
Oh, yeah.
That was yours.
Yeah, first call. I wasn't even supposed to be in that set. We had Trevor Wilcox in there, and Hills goes, "He would in the game." I was like, why? Okay. Get out there. Oh, it's rocket pass. Here it comes. I step out there. The corner bails right away. After the corner bails, then I just lofted up to Mason, and there was nobody there to make the play.
So that was a design play, rocket pass.
Yep.
Okay. So you come in motion, they toss you the ball.
Exactly.
They suck because they don't suck. They suck in.
Yeah, they come in. They're playing hard rocket, especially first play of the game. They think we're coming at them.
Exactly, because that's typical Rambler offense,
exactly.
Right?
It's either down or rocket coming at you.
And they've seen that a million times on film in the last week, I'm sure. So it's a pretty smart offensive play call.
Got a picture to get in.
Oh, holy smokes. Give me your headset. You got a picture to go in. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I stole some time there from Ethan Hewitt, who has 2 touchdown passes. They have 2 touchdown passes for the night, Ethan Hewitt does, which who would have thought your tailback's going to throw 2 touchdown passes for the Ramblers to win by 6. In a football game that's supposed to be probably a running football game, all things considered. We'll talk about the dynamics of the soccer team coming in as well. That was kind of a big deal in that they just won a district championship. And as Ethan said, they were waiting on their kicker, Jed Dean, not Jed. We call him Jed, Jacob Edward Dean, that's his initials. He shows up, so everybody's relieved that he gets here. Ironically enough, we go for a field goal, which is pretty rare for the Ramblers to be in a field goal position. Your kicker just shows up. And I'm going to get him over here. And he's supposed to save the day, and then here's what happens. I'm going to put a headset. I got Jacob Dean with me right here, right now. Oops. Get you set. Can you hear me, Jacob?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, congratulations on that big district win on the Sockers.
Thank you.
That's a good job. I understand that was a shootout. Tell me what happened there real quick.
So 0-0 throughout the entire game, and it went into penalties after. And their player missed the first one, and all 5 of our players hit it, and we won the district title.
So it's a shootout. They scored 0?
They scored 4 out of the 5, and we scored 5 out of the 5.
Holy smokes, so it's a big deal.
As close as it can be.
5-4. So did we have to kick the last one to win it?
Yeah.
And who's that kick?
Ian Meyer.
Ian Meyer. Well, you couldn't ask for more pressure, could you?
Yeah.
When it comes to talking about pressure, we're going to get here and talk about pressure tonight, right? So as you guys go by out here on the highway or on Boyne Avenue, we see the police car lead you through. You want to join your team real quick, or you want to stand here?
I'll go join the team real quick.
Come back when you're done with that.
Okay.
Go ahead, real quick. I'll have you come back. I'm going to let Jacob Dean go here for a second because the football team's huddled up doing their cheer they do after the game. I'll get him back. Jacob's here. I just want to make sure he's not supposed to be over there with the rest of those guys. I don't know where you're supposed to be. Come on back when you get a chance, Jacob. I want to talk about that. The ups and downs, the highs. Okay. Let's put this back on, buddy. All right, so when you guys roll through, you're led through by the police car. We see the bus. The fans all stand up. Everybody cheers. We're talking about you on RSN, which is pretty cool for the soccer team, right? It's a good deal. We immediately go to hurry up and get Jacob Dean to the football stadium. That's what we talk about here on set. Ironically, which turns into the situation. You come out here. Did you know what you were walking into? Okay, so you had no idea or didn't have a real idea what the score was or what was going on?
Not at all.
Well, we did, and we were glad to see you, which is great. You come out here, and one night you're in 2 stressful games that win a championship for the Ramblers. So let's talk about the kick here, or the timeout when we get set up. Tell us what you're going through your head and what coach tells you.
Well, I've always thought back to the Michael Geiger hand circle after he hit
the Michigan State kid?
The Michigan State kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I ever do that, like, that's what I will think about the entire time. And it was just the craziest moment of my life.
Okay, so you're out there. The coach calls field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So you come into the huddle. Ethan Hills goes out.
Yep.
Okay. What do they say to you?
Is it extra point? Extra point?
No, field goal.
Field goal?
Field goal. What do they say to you?
Everybody in the...
Yeah, what's the huddle? What's the talk in the huddle?
Everyone's just like, you got this, Jed. You got this. Let's go.
And
I went out there. And
you thought you had it?
And I
thought you had it.
I thought it was going to go.
Right.
But
so what do you see?
I saw a bad snap. Ethan yelled fire. And we've never, like, practiced that before.
You haven't?
I haven't, personally. Right. And it was
so you didn't know what was going on?
I had no idea what was going on. I just saw Ethan Hewitt run with the ball and throw it, and Dylan caught it, and it was as exciting as it could get.
That's amazing. And one night to have those kind of 2 experiences, that's an amazing thing for a young man and a school, quite frankly. So we score. Then you got to come back out.
Yeah.
And then tell us what's going through your head there.
I still couldn't believe that we scored. And I lined up, and I was like, okay, extra point. I've hit this a million times. I can hit it one more. And just hit it, went straight through.
And it was a good kick. Well, congratulations. Your players are out there. I don't want to hold you up any longer. I want to get some time. Yeah. Congratulations on 2 big wins tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, Jacob's heading out to line up with the rest of his teammates in the pink jersey presentation, which is a big deal here at Earl Brotherston Field for the Boyne City folks. Most of the fans are on the track. Some are in the stands and the bleachers. The Ramblers have turned the focus to this, which is very important. It's good to see that they can get focused and do this. It's an important event. I'm going to turn it over to Tom Clemens, the announcer now.
At tonight's game, our varsity football players, marching band members, and cheerleaders have worn with pride pink attire honoring family members and friends who have been touched by cancer. Some of those being honored tonight are survivors, while others fought the good fight and are held close in our memories. The Boyne City Ramblers are proud to recognize these special people by passing on their game jerseys or sweatshirts at this time. Michelle Deming is wearing a fan sweatshirt in honor of Auntie Lori Van Dam. Aunt Lori's strength, positive attitude, and her willingness to rise the storm shows that she is Belgian strong against breast cancer. We love you, Aunt Lori. Claire Ivy is wearing a band sweatshirt in honor of John Tormes and Connie Tormes, Unger, and Kate Tormes, Ivy. Memories of our lost loved ones live in our minds and hearts. We love you, Katie, and are so happy you are here with us today. Shayza Corley is wearing a band sweatshirt tonight in honor of Nana Nancy Aker. She's a cancer survivor. She's being sponsored by Stephanie Cornelly. Zoe Harmon is wearing a band sweatshirt in honor of Grandma Lucille Palmer. She is being sponsored by Zoe, Austin, Melody, Ann, Becky, and Pat Harmon. She had her cancer surgery in 1997 and is still growing strong today at 92 and a half years. Aurora Seeley is wearing a band sweatshirt in memory of her grandmother, Karen Seeley. Karen is a grandmother to Aurora, Annabelle, and Ella Seeley, and Timothy and Lily Payton. Karen lost her battle with cancer in 2001. Kathleen Zucker is wearing a band sweatshirt in memory of Catherine Tad Moore. Catherine Tad Moore is the grandmother of teacher Aaron Zucker, and great-grandmother to her namesake Catherine Zucker and sister Anna Zucker. Grandma Moore is diagnosed with colon cancer in the spring of 1979 and passed away 6 weeks later. Her love of classical music, dance, and theater lives on with her family. Jacob Baker is wearing number 2 in memory of John Brunin. J.D. Brunin, husband to Myra.
You.
Is there batteries in there? We're good.
Jersey was sponsored by the Boyne City Middle School staff, being accepted on behalf of the Ivy family by Coach Dave Hill. Tyler Price is wearing number 11 in memory of Darrell Price, Tyler's grandfather. Darrell lost his battle with lung cancer September 10th, 2015. He will forever miss his laugh, and we will miss his sense of humor too. Ethan Hewitt is wearing number 14 in honor of Melody Grimes. Melody is currently battling ovarian cancer. She's an amazing wife, mother, sister, aunt, and friend. She dedicated her career to working primarily with autistic children. Her example of courage, charisma, and faith is contagious to all those, and there are many, who love her. Even as she's going through her own struggles, she's constantly reaching out to support others. Mason Gardner is wearing number 16 in honor of Sally Pierce in the memory of Judy Lawson. Tonight, Mason played in honor of his great aunt Sally Pierce, who is a breast cancer survivor since 1998. And for his great uncle Judy Lawson, who lost her battle to lymphoma in 1977. Eric Carson is wearing number 21 in honor of his grandpa, John Bennett, and grandpa Howard Carson. They both have fought and beaten cancer. Tonight, New Jersey is sponsored by the Carson Archie family. Neil House is wearing number 22 in memory of Joel Brown. Joel lost his battle with esophageal cancer, leaving behind his loving wife Phyllis and children Aaron and Nathan. Events like these allow his memory to live on and fight against all cancers to strengthen. Representing Joel Brown is Tricia Hill. Trevor King is wearing number 23 in memory of his great aunt Susie. Susie Robbins lost her battle with stomach cancer on April 30th, 2004, at 47 years old. Dominic Culver is wearing number 24 in honor of Sarah King. Sherry King. Sherry's battling cancer for the second time. And as the mother of Coach King, she has been support and inspiration to all the girls' tennis teams. We love you, King family. Cora Harder is wearing number 24 in memory of Jerry Adams and Cal Bricker. Cal Bricker lost his battle 31 years ago, and Jerry Adams survived cancer and lost his life in 2016. Both men were loving fathers and grandfathers of the Bricker and Adams families. Cora is sponsored by Dave and Robin Bricker and family. Number 24 was Mr. Dave Bricker's football jersey. Weston Deming is wearing number 5 in memory of Mrs. Jerima's Grandpa Hubbard. Grandpa H lost his life to cancer after a 15-year fight. He was a great man and missed every day by his family. Dylan Shulock is wearing number 27 in honor of all Boyne City elementary families that have been affected by cancer. Dillon, New Jersey was sponsored by the Boyne City Elementary School. David Schaefer is wearing number 30 in honor of Lois Rose and in memory of Richard Rose and Diane Rose. David is wearing his jersey tonight in honor of his great-grandmother Lois and in memory of his great-grandfather Richard and in memory of his grandmother Diane. Accepting the jersey tonight are David's parents, Frank and Annette Schaefer. Jacob Dean is wearing number 31 in memory of Karen Backus. Karen lost her long fight in March of 2016. She is represented tonight by her husband Gary, son Andy, granddaughters Emily and Alex Backus, in honor of her dad that passed in 2001, and Karen's late son Charlie, our past and present TCSF students Dick and Zach Backus, and their parents Terry and Sam Mike. Evan Beebe is wearing number 43 in memory of Katie Bryant. Katie lost her battle with leukemia 10 years ago. She was and still is an inspiration to us. We miss you and we'll love you always. Brandon Hager is wearing number 50 in memory of Dorothy, great-grandmother to Brayton Hager. Dorothy was a loving, hard-working mother to Kate Brayton, Dave and John Brayton. Grandmother and great-grandmother to Jacob, Brayton, Brianna, Tristan, Thomas Hager, and many more. Dorothy lost her battle with cancer in November. This jersey is dedicated to her son John, grandfather to the Hager kids. Brian House, wearing number 51, in memory of Joe Punk. Joe was an awesome husband, father, and brother. He died from cancer of the brain. We are comforted by his amazing efforts of people like you, who are raising funds to help us win the battle against cancer. Representing Joe's family is Tom and Nancy Hill. Caleb Walters is wearing number 52 on behalf of the Boyne City High School staff and families. The Boyne City High School staff would like to honor and recognize all those who are impacted by cancer by providing strength, love, and hope to those in need. Spencer Joel is wearing number 55 in memory of Tommy Lee Hartwick. Tommy passed of a brain tumor at age 7 in the early 1950s before chemotherapy and radiation were available. He is survived by all his siblings, Diana, Eddie, Chris, and Kim. Frank Minier is wearing number 57 in honor of Aunt Peggy Denard. One word comes to mind when we think of Aunt Peg: fight. From currently fighting cancer to having to overcome the weather in Houston, Texas, raised her family while working as a full-time nurse helping others. We love you, Aunt Peg. I, Riley, will be accepting the jersey on her behalf. Holden Delaney is wearing number 60 in honor of Mel.
And we can see
Leggett.
the audio.
Lauren Violi is honoring her grandfather tonight, who is tackling his final months of colon cancer. Lauren and her mother, Becky Lockquist, are accepting the jersey on his behalf. Connor Gables is wearing number 62 in honor of Linda Campbell and in memory of Beverly Fogo. The Fogo family is sponsoring tonight in memory of Matt's mother, Bev, who died of ovarian cancer in 2009, in honor of Sue's mom, Linda, who is currently battling lymphoma. Riley Minier, a member of Boyne City's marching band, is also wearing number 62 in honor of Patty Tompkins, who is a cancer survivor. If I'm ever faced with a life-threatening illness, I would want to exhibit the grace and poise that Patty did. Patty's out of town tonight. Number 62 was Patty's husband's jersey in high school. Accepting the jersey on her behalf is Patty's sister, Debbie Higgins. Riley's jersey was sponsored by Frank and Danielle Minty. Carter Coates is wearing number 63 in memory of Harvey Lee Coates. Harvey was a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. Carter also pays tribute to his uncle Harvey by wearing number 63 on his jersey, Harvey's old football number.
Bro, idea.
Dalton Cole is wearing number 66 in honor of those fighting and all those who have lost the battle. Dalton, sponsored by Archie and Melissa Cole.
Perfect. The basketball, I think Carson wanted it. Took a shoe off and like set the camera on.
Jacob Robinson is wearing number 67 in honor of Annette Nesper. Annette was not only a wife and mother, but a devoted family friend, business owner, and local volunteer to numerous organizations. She also played a large role in Jacob's preschool life. Roger Nesper, Barb Robinson, Mark and Catherine Verjay, Angela Bailing, and Irene McClellan will accept the jersey on behalf of Michael, Dan, Rachel, and Natalie Nesper in memory of Annette Nesper. Annette lost the battle with breast cancer this past December. Jacob is honored to have. Kate Schroeder is wearing number 68 in honor of Crail Schroeder. After being diagnosed and treated for kidney cancer, Crail never missed a beat. He continued to be the anchor he always was. We always count on him, whether it was to wash uniforms, cook meals, volunteer at the chamber, or mentoring the robotics team. Thank you, Crail. Dad, you're everything to us. Love Kate, Graham, Misty, and Faith. Max Burke is wearing number 71 in honor of Missy Gillette. Max and Sam Burke, Kaylee Raycraft, Emma, and Bear Russell would like to honor Missy for the beautiful person that she decided now. Her love for her family and friends is just one of the reasons that makes her so special. We love her. Jared Heisler is wearing number 73. Sixth grade teacher Cody Wilcox, a longtime employee of Peg Wilcox, humbly accepts this jersey on behalf of the McNamara clan. We recognize the successful battle of Peg Pacific. Robert McNamara and Lynn McNamara Blue are now cancer-free. In loving memory of their sister Rhea and Rhea's son, Chad. Matt Metelsky is wearing number 77 in honor of Aunt Kelly Reynolds and also Grandma McNew, Aunt Kayla and Judy, Aunt Judy, and Grandpa Metelsky, whose lives have been affected by cancer. Dylan Williams is wearing number 88 in memory of Marlene Schraub. Marlene is dearly missed by her friends and family. She will always be lovingly remembered as an exemplary wife, mother, and grandmother. Dylan's jersey is sponsored by the Schraub. Leanne Baker is wearing number 90 in honor of Janice Kennedy. Dr. Danny Schwartz is sponsoring her mother's jersey and is not able to be here tonight. Dr. Schwartz and her husband Rob are visiting her in Chicago tonight as she fights brain cancer. Aaron Smith is wearing number 91. She has been a proud sponsor of the Crucial Catch game for 3 years. Thank you. Sophia Hemming is wearing number 92. Her jersey is sponsored by the Cancer Crusaders, a group of dedicated people who are helping local families impacted by cancer. Their goal is to make sure everyone knows that no one fights alone. Lauren Hudson is wearing number 93 in memory of her grandfather, Wayne Grove. Lauren's GPA lost his battle to cancer in 2009. That's Lauren's grandfather. We miss him dearly. Kayla Bradley is wearing number 94 in honor of Jesse Yates, or Jerry Yates. Every time he's been admitted to the hospital, he's always positive, so I wouldn't feel bad. I always love seeing his smile brighten up everyone's day. Tammy Chap is wearing number 95 in honor of her uncle, Terry Sachs. Tammy's Uncle Terry has a heart of gold for all his family and friends. He's loved by all, and we know he is stronger than any cancer. Isabella Helsley is a member of the Boyne City Marching Band. She's wearing number 96 in honor of Kathy Helsley. She's a proud sponsor by the Helsley kids and their families. Kathy beat stage 3 breast cancer almost 14 years ago. She was recently diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer a second time this summer. She is the strongest person we know. She will fight with this again. We would like to thank the varsity football players, band members, and cheerleaders for willing to wear pink. Coaches and band directors for their support.
All right, well, thank you for watching the Rambler Sports Network. We're going to wrap this up for tonight. We'll see you all back here next week, likely for a home playoff game. Until then, thanks for watching. All right, well, thank you for watching the Rambler Sports Network. We're going to wrap this up for tonight. We'll see you all back here next week, likely for a home playoff game. Until then, thanks for watching. All right, well, thank you.